Oops. Sorry, I was checking the sounds and I forgot to put it back on the title screen. Okay, so just fair warning. Today my throat is extra painful because I ate too much fried food. So I'm sorry in advance if I cough a lot or sound scratchy like this. So yeah. Well, my voice is naturally scratchy anyway, but yeah. I'm back with Phantom of the Twilight. I think last time I played, I was in the middle of a chapter. Chapter 5, was it? And yeah, we're just gonna continue that right now. I hope my voice is fine. Actually, I'm very worried because last time the voice was... What are you doing here, EP? You have to go to bed. The fuck? Yeah, my voice should be fine. My mic should be fine. Okay. I only have one save file? That's weird. I don't remember only having one. I shouted Aaron's name, trying to grasp on what little sanity I had left within me, but no answer returned. Talk to the witness. If this happened just now, perhaps that person witnessed something. I barely managed to think logically, and I slowly approached the woman who was shaking in the back. Are you alright? What happened here? I don't know. I was returning home, and I saw a woman on the ground, and... I see. It's okay now. Don't fret. The police is here, so you'll soon be able to return home safely. You're not tired yet? Okay. Right, Aaron? However, Aaron's eyes were still fixed on the woman on the ground, and he looked like his soul had left his body. Aaron? I didn't think he'd crumble like this, but seeing him like this made me more calm in contrast. I understand you're in shock, but now is not the time for this. Aaron? At first we froze because of the scene of the murder, but there was something else. I was clearly overlooking something. Something shocking that I've never seen until now. It can't be. I stepped away from the witness and approached Aaron. Poor baby. Aww. Something was glowing in the pitch black alley. Wait, what? But his eyes were blue. I thought he's like the only human, no? Something was glowing in the pitch black alleyway. It was glowing more radiantly than the red that seeped out of the now deceased body of the woman. It was similar to the eyes of someone I've known my entire life. Crimson. No way. The moment I realized what those eyes meant, I muttered words of disbelief under my breath. Why is he so pretty though? Holy shit! Okay. Once again, a strong gush of wind swept by us, carrying the scent of butchery. Aaron, who was standing still all this time, heard my muttering and looked towards me. And I was met with a pair of beautiful blood-red eyes. But how? It wasn't. My head was full of questions, and I couldn't form a proper sentence. Even Aaron, who was staring back at me, had a complex, indescribable expression on his face. I thought he was afraid of blood. It was so cute. Aaron, there was only one conclusion I could come to at this moment. I barely managed to get my lips to move and ask a question to get confirmation. You're a vampire? He failed to say anything else. He merely looked my way with a confused gaze. What he wanted and what he was trying to say. It was all a mystery to me. Why do you look like that? The silence was unbearable. I unconsciously blinked and saw Aaron smiling. Aaron? Pikachu? Sorry, that's the first thing that came into mind. I instantly understood what state he was in as soon as I heard his dazed muttering. He might go berserk from the scent of blood. Vampires had to drink the blood of the living, and as of now, the witness and I were the only options. There was no time to hesitate.
아가씨의 피를 마시면 편해질까요? 그렇다면...
Fortunately, his gaze was fixed on me. Should I let him drink my blood? I was used to this kind of situation, so I calmly considered my options.
이런 광경은 아가씨의 정신 건강에 좋지 않네요.
As if purposely timed, Charlie appeared before me. Charlie!
경찰이 곧 들이닥칠 거예요.
What? You called them here?
그들을 강제로 여기까지 움직이게 하는 게 꽤 번거로웠네요. 아무튼 저나 아가씨나 그들이 여기 남으면 일이 더 복잡해질 게 뻔하니 일단 자리를 피하죠.
Wait, but Aaron...
알아서 잘 도망치겠죠. 그냥 놔두세요.
What? Charlie, let go of me. Wait. He came closer in the blink of an eye and picked me up with the most effortless expression.
가시죠.
I still have to talk to Aaron. He's so hot. However, my desperate cries were buried in the darkness of the alleyway. We had no choice but to head back to the mansion, leaving behind the sound of police officers running towards the scene. The night sky was the last thing I saw, and the almost full moon was faintly shining. Chapter 6. Oh, I should have finished that yesterday. I was carried to my room by Charlie and I started asking questions, trying to make sense of the whole situation. What happened? Did you know that Aaron was a vampire?
아니요. 저도 처음 알았습니다. 다만 아가씨와 아론이 어린 소녀와 함께 있을 때부터 그 근방에서 꽤 진한 피냄새가 풍겨오더군요. 그래서 사건이 일어났나 싶어서 경찰에 신고하러 잠깐 자리를 비운 사이에 이런 일이 일어날 줄은. 제때 지켜드리지 못해서 죄송합니다. 제 불찰이군요.
That's quite fine. But Aaron...
보아하니 그 참혹한 현장을 보고 자극받아 처음 각성을 한 게 아닐까 싶은데 만약 경찰이 도착할 때까지 그 상태였다면 아마 꼼짝없이 범인으로 몰리지 않을까 싶군요.
I don't want that.
아니, 어쩌면 진짜 범인일지도.
What are you talking about? Don't say that. Aaron was with me while that murder happened. He didn't kill her.
하지만 하비가 말했잖습니까? 메리가 살해당하던 때 붉게 빛나는 눈동자의 남자가 거기 서 있었다고. 게다가 저 역시 아론이 말한 새로운 목격자의 증언에 의해 메리 체포만 살해 혐의로 체포된 적이 있죠.
Wait, does this mean he lost his pretty blue eyes? I am actually very, very sad now. I love his eyes. No.
아가씨가 목격자니 이번 사건은 100번 양보하더라도 이제까지의 사건은 아론이 범인일 가능성도 있는 겁니다.
No, it can't be.
아가씨는 단순히 그렇게 믿고 싶은 것뿐 아닌가요?
No, it's not. I had no doubt Aaron was innocent, but I couldn't help but remember what had just happened. The clear emerald green eyes were drenched in a coat of red. His gaze looked confused, yet the smile he made was yearning for something within me. It felt like I didn't know Aaron at all. I'll have to pay a visit to the station tomorrow. I want to know what happened.
그렇게 하시죠. 오늘은 피곤하실 테니 이만 주무세요.
Charlie? Charlie was about to exit the room with a gracious bow when I stopped him.
왜 그러시죠?
What if Aaron really is behind the murders?
그럼 경찰서에 잡혀가겠죠. 형사 재판을 통해서 처벌이 정해질 테고요.
Thanks.
죄질이 결코 가볍지 않은데 목숨이나 건지면 그나마 다행이겠네요.
How could... A shiver ran down my spine just by the thought of such a tragic end.
그렇게나 그가 걱정이십니까?
Yes? Of course I am. I'm also concerned about that woman on the ground. The woman who witnessed the scene. Everyone.
그건 다행이군요.
What? What do you mean?
아닙니다. 상황이 궁금하시면 내일 일어나서 경찰서로 직접 가보시죠.
Might be coping, but is he saying that's good because that means we're not just worried about the man and we're also worried about the girl, which means we don't like him that way and that's why we're worried? I don't know. Whatever. That would be ideal. As I wrapped up my conversation with Charlie, fatigue washed over my body.
같이 있어드릴까요?
Hmm?
끔찍한 현장을 마주하셨으니 오늘 밤은 분명 악몽을 꿀 거라며 무서워하실 줄 알았는데요.
Oh. His gentle smile helped me realize that I had been very tense. Sure, if you want to stay, you can stay. Let out a small sigh. To be honest, I'm not working towards his route though, so I don't know if I should be doing this. I let out a small sigh, and I could feel a slight bit of warmth returning to my fingertips. Then, will you keep me company for the night?
그럼요. 아가씨가 원하신다면 언제든지.
What if I didn't wish for it?
글쎄요. 아가씨가 원하지 않아도
No.
아마 저는 여기 있었을 것 같네요.
How sweet.
그것이 제가 원하는 바니까요.
Charlie smirked and gently held my relaxed hand.
그럼 자리에 누우세요. 제가 정리하죠.
Right. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I'm extra worried about my mic today because last time my mic was off for like a good solid hour. I laid down and closed my eyes. He sorted my messy hair and turned the lights off.
당신이 어디 있든 저는 항상 그 옆에 머무를 겁니다. 부디 그 사실을 잊지 마시길.
His words sounded like a spell that I had been hearing for a long time. I was comfortable with his presence within the dark, and I slowly drifted off to sleep. The next morning, I finished handling some urgent tasks and prepared for my visit to the station when Harvey stopped by the study. Harvey, are you feeling better now?
덕분에요. 걱정해줘서 고마워요.
It seemed like he exhausted himself from walking around Laker Street all day with me before fully recovering from using his ability. He claimed to be fine, but he was in bed all day yesterday, unable to get up. Poor baby! However, unlike last time, he was off sound mind and was just sleeping. That made me feel better.
어제도 나갔다 온 건가요? 밤늦게 대화 소리가 들리던데요.
I went to ask Aaron if there was any progress on the case.
아론이요?
He became noticeably troubled. Oh, interesting.
그럼 이 소식 들었어요?
Hear what? Oh, he got arrested, didn't... My poor baby! He held up something. It was the newspaper that was clean and barely creased, which indicated that it was from this morning.
반응을 보니 아직 모르는 것 같은데. 일면을 먼저 봐요.
What? I opened the newspaper and was shocked to read the title on the front page. Serial killer finally caught. The article was about how Aaron Bailey, who was a detective in the Laker Street Police Department, Turned himself in last night. What do you mean you turned yourself in, baby? The coroner's report indicated that all 4 murders were done by the same person, and the officials were to take his confession and go through a field inspection. No, it can't be. He was with me when the murder happened. Why did he turn himself in?
상황이 재미있게 돌아가는군요.
Charlie appeared from behind me and spoke up amidst the chaos.
역시 어제 그와 함께 있었나요? 무슨 일이 있었던 거죠?
I tried my best to calm down and give a detailed retelling of what had happened last night.
그런 일이 있었군요.
But I'm sure Aaron's not the killer. He's just a vampire that awakened from the smell of blood, not a serial killer. After he saw an image of a red-eyed vampire from Mary's case, Charlie mentioned something. Mary and the other victims were all stabbed to death, and so it would be rash to assume that a vampire is behind those murders.
제가 분명히 그렇게 말했지만 본인이 자수한 이상 이미 명확한 거나 다름없지 않나요?
I'm telling you, it's not him. That's why I want to know why he turned himself in. And with my last sad comment, the study fell silent for a moment.
그럼 직접 물어볼까요?
Can we? What? How?
이미 경찰서 유치장에 있는 사람을 무슨 수로 만나서 직접 물어본다는 거죠? 당신이 저번에 빠져나왔던 것처럼 백 작가의 지위를 이용해서 밖으로 내보낼 생각인 건가요?
저런 합의 당신은
합의.
교수인데도
Okay.
고작 그것밖에 떠오르는 게 없나요? 가방끈이 긴 사람은 생각하는 게 조금 다를 줄 알았는데.
뭐라고요? 무식하게 힘으로 밀어붙이면 어떻게든 다 될 거라고 생각하는 늙은이에게
Old
그딴 말을
man.
듣고 싶지는 않네요.
Charlie shrugged exaggeratingly while shaking his head, and Harvey snapped back with the retort. Stop, this isn't the time nor place for this. So Charlie, what were you thinking?
아론 본인이 자수한 이상 어차피 저번 같은 방법으로는 어렵겠죠. 제가 그곳에서 빨리 나올 수 있었던 건 정당방위였다는 걸 인정받아서기도 하니까요.
And then what?
간단합니다. 경찰이 알아서 내보내줄 수 없다면 저희가 빼오는 수밖에요.
All the men are gonna sleep in my house.
남들이 알지 못하게 몰래 숨어서 마치 보물을 훔치는 궤도처럼 말이죠.
Persona 5?
보아하니 최근 유행하는 소설이라도 읽고 꽤 감명받으신 모양인데 그건 납치라고 하는 거예요. 정말 그게 좋은 방법이라고 생각한 게 아니길 바랍니다.
어차피 들을 생각도 없었으니 당신이 뭐라고 하든지 상관없습니다.
So rude.
중요한 건 아가씨의 선택이죠.
I thought about the idea for a moment and soon nodded. Charlie's solutions for these types of issues may have been a tad excessive, but their chances of success were high. Even though it might have come from his ability to force things into place, rather than the quality of the actual solution.
좋습니다. 작전 결행은 오늘 밤으로 하죠.
Harvey let out a big sigh in the back as Charlie's satisfied voice echoed throughout the room. That night, Harvey was initially against Charlie's plan, but he eventually joined us.
린델 백 작가의 신세를 지고 있는 이상 제가 도울 수 있는 게 있다면 해야겠죠.
딱히 도와줄 건 없을 텐데요. 저 혼자서도 충분히 아가씨를 도울 수 있습니다. 이제까지도 그래왔고요.
I don't think this is the time to be possessive.
몸도 허할 텐데 그냥 얌전히 침대에 들어가서 잠이나 퍼질러 자면 어떻겠습니까?
헛소리 하지 마세요. 말은 그렇게 해도 계획도 없잖아요. 아가씨, 어떻게 할지 찰리 얘기 들은 게 있나요?
Nope. Felt called out by Harvey and I slowly shook my head. No, not exactly.
그거 봐요. 아무 생각 없이 흡혈하고 다짜고짜 경찰서 쳐들어가서 유치장문 부수고 아론을 끌어올 생각은 아니었겠죠?
복잡해 보이는 문제를 가장 심플하게 해결할 수 있다면 그게 제일 좋은 일일 텐데요.
단순 무식하기 짝이 없군요.
Stop it, you two. I had enough of their petty insults, and I stopped the conversation. We all made our way to the Laker Street police station in the middle of the night. Sneaking out a hot guy, that's the second time. This month? No, since last month. We stood in the alleyway in front of the station, discussing what our next move should be.
이렇게 하는 게 좋겠어요. 내가 경찰서에 근무하는 사람들의 기억을 읽어내서 경찰서 내부 구조와 아론이 어디 있는지를 먼저 알아올게요.
You didn't drink any blood yet. Is that possible?
아가씨, 내가 부탁한 거 잊었어요?
Oh, I see. You asked for some blood in case it would be necessary, huh? Oh, that's what you meant. I took out 2 small vials of blood from my bag and handed them to Charlie and Harvey. I've never taken my blood out in advance like this.
그 자리에서 피가 필요하다고 당신을 무는 것보다는 훨씬 효율적이죠.
He opened the lid and swallowed the blood, shooting a brief glance at Charlie. Compliment him? For what? I want to know. Maybe it's the professor in you, but I'm thoroughly impressed. You prepare and act a lot more methodically.
나 역시도 예전에는 제 능력을 믿고 하고 싶은 대로 했어요. 하지만 능력을 쓰지 못하게 되는 순간 내가 생각보다 무력한 존재임을 깨달았죠. 그래서 스스로도 이 사회에서 잘 살아남을 수 있게 훈련해왔던 것 같아요.
I see.
그럼 다녀올게요.
Although he drank from a vial, he wiped the corners of his mouth out of habit before walking away. I watched his silhouette grow smaller and smaller until I noticed newspapers on the ground. It's today's papers. His name was still decorating the front page of what papers would have been carelessly stepped on throughout the day. No matter what happens, I'll make this plan work, and I'll have a proper conversation with Aaron. Determined, I wait for Harvey, who soon returned.
경찰서 안으로 들어가면 오른쪽 구석에 형사들이 출입할 수 있는 전용문이 있어요. 안으로 들어가서 복도 끝까지 걸어간 뒤에 왼쪽을 보면 그곳이 형사과이고요. 아론은 그 형사과 가장 안쪽에 있는 유치장이 있어요.
당연한 일이지만 경찰서 가장 깊숙한 곳에 있군요.
How are you gonna get him out?
편하게 경찰서 뒤쪽을 날려버린 후에 아론을 데리고 나와서 도망치는 게 가장 낫지 않을까요?
아가씨는 먼저 가서 아론을 만나고 싶다고 면회 요청을 해요. 제일 좋은 건 면회 요청을 했을 때 받아들여져서 그냥 들어갈 수 있다면 제일 좋겠지만 가능성은 작아 보여요. 1년의 살인사건 전부 본인이 했다고 자백해버리는 바람에 극형에 처할 수 있는 대죄인 취급을 받고 있어서요. 상황이 좋지는 않네요. 만약 경찰이 자백만으로 유죄를 선고해버린다면 그는 의심할 여지도 없이 곧바로 사형장으로 갈 수도 있어요.
게다가 갓 뱀파이어로 각성했으니 한참 굶주렸을 때죠. 인간들의 언어로 대체하자면 사춘기에 가까운 느낌이랄까?
How
아마
cute.
폭주하기 쉬운 상태일 겁니다.
Damn, I should have brought more blood vials then. Sneak him in some food?
아무튼 만약에 면회가 거절당한다면 그때는 플랜 B로 가야 해요.
Plan B?
갑자기 그 자리에서 쓰러지든 아론을 만나고 싶다고 고집을 피우든 뭔가 소란을 피워주면 좋겠어요. 그렇게 모든 사람의 시선이 아가씨에게 집중됐을 때 여기 손에 있는 거울로 바깥을 비춰주세요. 그 신호를 보고 제가 경찰서 안쪽에 있는 전기를
How?
차단할게요. 안이 어두워지면 찰리가 그 틈에 재빨리 들어가서 아론을 데리고 나오세요.
How is he going to cut the lights out? Is he an engineer? Where? Okay.
감히 당신이 제게 명령하는 겁니까?
당신이 그렇게도 따르는 아가씨를 위한 일일 텐데요.
Harvey calmly replied, and Charlie forced a smile to hide his discomfort.
이번 한 번은 넘어가지만 함부로 나서지 않는 편이 좋을 겁니다.
그건 봐야 알겠죠. 애당초 나를 만든 장본인인 당신은 피를 마시면 할 수 있는 게 뭐죠? 그저 남들보다 힘이 세지고 빨리 움직일 수 있는 것밖에 더 있나요?
Oh, seriously, stop with the bickering. I started getting irritated and I had to shout. Continue this childish arguing and I'll lock you in the same room together. Do you want to be roommates?
아가씨와 단둘이 지내는 건 언제든 환영입니다만 그것만은 사양이군요.
나도 싫어요. 그럴 바에는 차라리 저택을 나가겠어요.
I shook my head, left them behind, and entered the police station. The station late at night was quite empty. I forgot to comprehend the plot. Hot guy got arrested because he said he killed people, even though he probably didn't. That's basically it. As soon as I entered, I carefully looked around to confirm Harvey's information. A door only for detectives on the right corner. Ah, there it is. So Charlie will enter that way when Harvey cuts the power to the building. Charlie will be moving very quickly after drinking my blood, so I assume he won't need that much time. I checked the location and soon approached the person at the counter labeled Criminal Department. Good evening. What can I help you with? Ah, I guess you're not aware of who I am. I'm Bitten, heir of the Linders. Ah, her ladyship of the Linders. I knew your name, but I didn't know of your face. What brings you to the police station? I'm here to pay a visit to Aaron Bailey. Aaron Bailey? He was treating me with civility right up until the name was brought up. His face instantly tensed up. I had a feeling that my visitation request wasn't going to be accepted. Yes, I know him personally, and I owe him something for the Mary Chapman case. I need to hear from him if he truly is behind that murder. I heard that Mary Chapman used to be an employee at your residence. We understand the situation and we would like to help, but it will be difficult. And why is that? He refuses to meet anyone. We're having a hard time believing all this too. Aaron was a role model to all the detectives, and now? He just showed up this morning and said he was the one who was behind all the murders. In those red eyes of his too. It was all surreal. We kept asking if he's mistaken, if he's ill and whatnot, but he says there's nothing wrong with him. With no other evidence, we have no choice but to act based on his confession. Meanwhile, he keeps telling us to arrest him since his eyes are red, just as the witness said. Amidst the chaos, a few reporters sneaked in the station, and the news spread to the public before we even knew it. I like how he's just telling us everything. Like, yes, thank you for the info dump. That's what transpired. Then, how do I go see Aaron? Alright, let's try pleading earnestly first. Since the detective told me the story in detail, I thought he could be a little generous. As I said, I've become closer to Aaron while assisting his investigations. If you let me see him, I might be able to persuade him to tell the truth. Are you certain? I'm certain I can try. Wait, is that a bad ending then? This way I won't have to throw a tantrum, and Charlie won't have to force Aaron out. I safely followed the detective towards the door that led to the corridor. However... Ah! What's going on? Is he eating people? I turned to see someone stumbling out to the lobby with their hand tightly grasping their neck. Every time he took a step, a trail of blood followed on the ground. Never mind, this is the bad ending. Hugo, what happened? Aaron escaped the holding cell. He was sitting still, like a dead man, and he suddenly got up and ripped open the bars. Damn, that's hot. What? How is that possible? The other detective collapsed after speaking, and we rushed to his side to help when a man walked out the door with glowing red eyes and blood on his lips. Hi, Hottie. His eyes were searching for something. They didn't focus on anything, merely wandering the empty space in front of him. Aaron! Vere? When I called out his name, I realized something was gravely wrong.
찾았습니다. 나의 아가씨.
Okay.
그토록 달콤한 향기를 풍기는 피의 주인은 역시 당신이었어요. 이제는 놓지 않을 겁니다.
Aaron made a crooked smile and rapidly snatched me up. What am I? 3 inches? My mind began blurring. Charlie. No, Harvey. They're still waiting for me. My consciousness was being submerged into darkness, never to see light again. Getting eaten by a hot dude. Yippee! Think that's the last bad ending?
황혼은 유령.
I won't let go. That's kinda cute, isn't it? That's kinda cute. I like that. Wait, hold up. Here. Okay, then... Shoop. To throw a tantrum. Whatever the case, it's urgent. Let me see Aaron. I just told you, he himself is refusing to take any visitors. Not to mention, he's an important reference to a series of murders, and we cannot allow it so easily. Not going very smoothly, as expected. It seemed best to move on to Harvey's plan B. Don't you know who I am? I'm Vere, the heir of to the Linders. You said that already. Do you understand what that means? My lady, I'm aware, but what? I didn't come here to listen to excuses. I intentionally raised my voice in the quiet station, and the employees started turning their heads. I'm telling you that I want to see Aaron. I need to talk to him. Is that such a bothersome request? My lady, please, lower your voice. Lower my voice? How could I lower my voice? This land that the station was built on was donated by the Linders. Did you know how much money I donated for the people here? It's just... My voice echoed through the not-so-extensive lobby, and the others started murmuring. This is going to lead to bad rumors for a while, but I guess I can't help it. Thinking about the negative consequences that were sure to follow, I angled the mirror behind my back to send a signal out to the window. This should be enough for Harvey to notice, right? It's really important, so stop saying no and just... I was about to rant on when... Huh? Why are the lights out? Have you noticed my sign? I can't see anything. What's going on? Where's the electrical panel? As people were in disarray, I slowly moved towards the exit that I memorized. When will Charlie be out with Aaron? Should I wait in here? I was on the fence when...
아가씨, 이제 나가요.
Harvey! I followed Harvey's whisper, left the station, and ran towards the residence district. The next morning, Aaron was still in the guest room, fast asleep, and we were standing over him. I asked Charlie about what happened last night, and he said that Aaron was on the verge of losing control from the smell of my blood when I walked into the station. He ran to the holding cell after the lights were cut off, and Aaron wasn't in a good state, so he had no choice but to knock him out. Sleepy boy?
눈을 떴네요.
제가 생각보다 힘을 덜 실어서 때렸나 보네요. 이렇게 금방 깨어날 줄은 몰랐는데.
Aaron, confused about what he was seeing, quietly blinked for a moment while staring at us. And after a decent amount of time, he started talking in a very cautious tone.
제가 왜 여기 있는 거죠? 이게 무슨 짓입니까?
Thing is though, she now has 3 vampires that need feeding, right? The human body doesn't cycle blood that fast. How is she going to keep all of them fed? This is crazy. I suggested that we should bring you here.
뭐라고요?
Looking into his crimson eyes, I couldn't help but miss the emerald hue that used to be there before. For real though, it was so pretty! I liked it so much! You were with me when the 4th murder happened. Why would you claim that you are the killer?
그게 문제가 아닙니다. 지금 당신들 이게 얼마나 중범죄인지 알고나 있는 겁니까?
Of course, that's the first thing he talks about.
당장이라도 절 경찰서에 돌려놓는 게 좋을 텐데요.
That's not the issue for me, though. I risked a lot to bring you here and ask you myself why you turned yourself in.
당신은 정말 끝까지 이렇게 무모하게. 아가씨가 무모하다는 의견에는 나도 동의해요.
Oh, now you're all just ganging up on me.
아마 저기 있는 단순 무식한 누군가가 이렇게 키운 건 아닐까 싶을 정도로요.
우리 아가씨는 아주 아름답게 잘 자라주셨습니다만.
Oops. While the two were bickering in the back, Aaron ruffled his hair and lowered his head.
왜 자수했냐고 물었죠. 당연한 겁니다. 제가 범인이니까요.
And how do you know that?
제가 죽였을 겁니다. 왜 그렇게 확신하죠? 그때 기억이 떠올랐습니다.
No.
제가 그 사람의 피를...
Aaron couldn't finish his sentence, as if it was too painful to even mutter the words out loud.
저도 몰랐습니다.
Poor
저에게
baby.
이런 살인마의 본능이 숨어 있을 줄은. 그러니 저는 마땅히 벌을 받아야 합니다.
Was it really Aaron? As he kept talking, even I, who firmly believed that he was innocent, was beginning to doubt things.
피를 마셨나요? 그 욕구는 당연한 겁니다. 당신은 뱀파이어니까요.
Funny thing, but what if Felix is like also an original vampire, and he forced Aaron to become a vampire because he was upset to see Aaron getting fed by us scones in his cafe. That would have been funny. I would like that very much. Charlie laid out the shocking truth so casually, and Aaron looked up at him with confused eyes.
그래요. 피를 마셨던 기억이 있습니다. 그걸 떠올린 후에 몇 번이나 구토했죠. 하지만 정말 제가 뱀파이어라는 겁니까? 그런 존재가 있다는 사실을 정말로 믿으라고요? 형사인 제가? 차라리 피를 마시고 싶어하는 미치광이 살인자 인격이 제 안에 숨어 있다는 게 더 설득력 있을 겁니다.
Good night, EP. Have a good sleep. Bye bye.
그러고 보니 아가씨가 반년 전 제 통제를 벗어난 쥐새끼에게 잠시 습격을 당한 적이 있었죠.
Charlie, what are you talking about?
벌써 잊어버리셨나요?
I do remember it vaguely. I had a cold and my mind was foggy. I was being chased in the alleyway and I had to run. When I thought it was the end for me, you arrived and saved me.
사실은 당신을 공격하려던 놈을 막아서 지켜주다가 큰 부상을 입고 반쯤 죽어가던 남자가 아가씨 곁에 있었어요.
Is this like things that happened before the game starts?
내내 아가씨를 보호하고 있었는데 상태가 좋지 않았고 충격이 컸다 보니 잊어버리신 모양이더군요.
Oh, is that so?
그때 아가씨를 구해줬던 보답으로 그 남자에게 제 피를 마시게 했던 기억이 나네요.
What?
저 형사를 볼 때마다 낯익은 얼굴이라 대체 어디서 봤을지 내내 궁금했는데 드디어 답을 찾았습니다.
Charlie smiled widely, and the rest of us were all appalled. Wait, then...
역시 찰리 당신이 아론을 뱀파이어로 만들었던 거군요. 또 당사자의 허락도 받지 않고 함부로.
그게 무슨 말이죠? 이 사람의 피를 마시면 문제가 되는 겁니까? 혹시 제가 그래서 살인마가 됐다는 건가요?
이 남자는 뱀파이어의 시초 같은 존재입니다. 언제부터 이 세상에 있었는지는 모르겠지만 그야말로 영원의 시간을 살아가면서 끝없이 인간의 피를 탐하는 저주받은 종족이죠. 그의 피를 마시면 평범한 사람이 뱀파이어가 될 수 있는데 아마 당신도 그중 하나인 것 같네요. 나 역시도 그렇고요.
다소 거슬리는 단어가 포함되긴 하지만 얼추 사실이니 넘어가드리죠.
그럼 당신 때문에 제가 이렇게 되었다는 얘기입니까? 이런 사람의 피를 탐하는 끔찍한 존재로.
Aaron was ready to jump towards Charlie, but Charlie took a step back.
하지만 제 덕분에 살았잖아요. 그때 일이 기억도 안 날 정도로 빈사 상태였던 모양인데 당신은 제게 구걸하고 있었어요. 살려달라고, 도와달라고 말이죠. 전 그 부탁을 들어준 것뿐이니 당신은 오히려 감사해야 할 텐데요.
뭐라고?
Wait, stop. It was sure to develop into a fight, so I frantically ran between them. Charlie, Harvey, could you please leave the room for now? I would like to talk to Aaron alone.
아가씨가 원하신다면
혼자서 괜찮겠어요?
걱정은 하지 않으셔도 됩니다. 만에 하나 그가 아가씨를 건드린다면 제가 곧바로 찢어버릴 테니.
그런 걱정을 하는 게 아니지만 아가씨, 내 도움이 필요하면 불러요.
I will. Thank you. After the two left, it was only Aaron and me left in the silent room. Aaron? I took a step forward, and a stern voice came from his lowered head.
가까이 오지 마십시오.
Why?
지금은 위험합니다.
He's hungry, poor baby.
당신도 이 방을 나가시는 편이 좋을 겁니다.
With that, I understood what kind of state Aaron was in. If that's the case, I'm not scared. You're thirsty, aren't you? I feel like he won't like the first one, but I want to do it anyway. I carefully reached out to Aaron and lifted his face.
이러지 마십시오. 당신의 그 시선으로
Oh, no.
내 추악한 눈을 바라보는 것.
It's okay. It's okay. We can wear contact lenses. It's okay. It's okay. You can drink. I made a small nick on my palm with the dagger I always carried around. Blood began forming on my hand and Aaron twitched. You don't have to be too hard on yourself. This is quite normal, since I've lived my entire life with a vampire by my side. Oh, he's so handsome! Ayo. I won't mind having a pet vampire, honestly, if they're all that handsome. Holy shit. As I moved my hand closer to Aaron's face, a drop of blood was about to fall from my hand, and Aaron quickly licked it up before it could. However, it seemed like he was driven by his thirst rather than his own will.
미안합니다. 이런 생각이
How cute. It's really fine. Don't feel so guilty about it. This is nothing to me. See? I'm still chatting with you.
당신은 이런 일을 계속
It's just
해왔단 말입니까?
blood donations. It's chill. He paused in the middle of his sentences, as if he was trying hard to stop his impulse to consume blood.
난 살인마인데 당신의 피를 내가 어떻게 아니
We can talk about that later, when you get a better understanding of things. He licked the blood on my palm, as if his last shred of rationality dissipated. And that seemed to have released his inhibitions. He started gulping the blood that was coursing through my veins. Ah. The slight tickling sensation was too much, and I let out a quiet moan. Aaron froze up all of a sudden, backing away from me. I knew it wasn't going to be easy for him to accept that he was a vampire, but there was a story I needed to tell him. I know you still need some time, but I just hope you don't blame yourself. The impulse that vampires feel is similar to the hunger of humans. If an overwhelming amount of pain strikes you, it makes you want to survive in whatever way possible. If that is something you cannot accept, I'll keep this to myself. I won't tell anyone. So think about it later after getting some rest. You need it. I didn't approach Aaron any closer. I finished what I had to say and got up.
어떻게 절 아무렇지 않게 대할 수 있는 겁니까?
I'm surrounded by vampires, my guy.
나조차도 지금 나 자신이 섬뜩하고 두려운데.
Also, that face really helps. You don't need to overcomplicate things in your mind. First, get some rest. He spoke calmly and Aaron sighed again.
처음 만났을 때부터 그랬지만 당신은 정말 이상한 사람이야.
I hear that quite often, actually. Aaron sounded more cool-headed now, and so I quietly left the guest room. It was a clear morning with the sun shining through the windows, and I had a gut feeling that something was about to change dramatically. Oh, whoa. Oh! Oh, I got into his route! Okay. The rumor that a possible serial killer had escaped the holding cell rapidly spread throughout the entirety of London. Furthermore, the story of how the young lady of the Linders caused a scene at the police station spread with it, so we came to the conclusion that I have to lay low for a while. However, that didn't mean I have less work to do, so I was in the study all day, taking care of overdue paperwork. Right when I was filled with the urge to throw all the stacks of paper onto the ground, someone carefully knocked on the door.
거기 있습니까?
Anytime for you, baby. Aaron? Yes, I am. Come in. I got up from my chair, surprised by the unexpected guest, and my back made a cracking sound. Ayo.
여태까지 계속 일하고 있었나 봅니다.
I have. There wasn't much else to do since I can't leave the mansion.
피곤하면 나중에 다시 오겠습니다.
It's quite alright. I was about to take a break anyway. What seems to be the matter? He seemed to hesitate for a moment before speaking his mind.
어제는 고마웠습니다.
It's okay. Yesterday? Is he thanking me for kidnapping him?
아무리 경황이 없었다고는 해도 정식으로 감사 인사도 하지 않았던 것 같아서요.
No problem. I only brought you here because I was quite certain you weren't the killer. Besides, in order to investigate the case properly, I needed to buy time somehow.
그게 아니라
Aaron blushed, rolling his eyes in different directions, as if he was having trouble saying something out loud. What is it, baby?
피를 마시게 해줘서
Cute.
고맙다는 얘기입니다.
Oh. It wasn't anything that stood out to me, so I didn't consider the possibility that he was talking about that particular subject. I hope you're better now. Are you feeling better now?
잘 모르겠습니다. 지금은 여러 가지 감각이 예전과 달라진 상태인 것 같아요.
What about the other one? Let me see real quick. I just want the cutest dialogues. I'm used to it, so it's okay.
익숙하다고요?
Yeah, I like this better. Ah, you were not in your right mind from the thirst yesterday. I guess you don't remember. Giving blood to vampires is just a part of my everyday life.
찰리에게 말입니까?
Yes?
그렇군요.
Aaron nodded in silence, and I continued talking in the hopes of changing the subject. I'd like to finish the conversation from yesterday. Oh, it's kind of boring. Are both boring? I haven't finished talking about what you remember. I still don't think you're the culprit, so I would like to listen more closely.
제가 범인이라고 말씀드렸을 텐데요.
Wait, let me just... Sorry. I don't like it. Are you better now? I want him to know I care.
지금은 여러 가지 감각이 예전과 달라진 상태인 것 같아요. 어떤 상태가 정상이고 비정상인 건지
Poor baby.
잘 판단이 되지 않습니다.
Don't be impatient. You should take your time and get used to it. If you need anything, I'm here to help.
당신의 피가 더 필요하다고 해도 말입니까?
Yes? Well, not very often, because since I need time to recover my blood.
조심해야겠군요.
Aaron nodded in silence, and I continued talking in the hopes of changing the subject. Okay, I like that better. I like that better. We ballin', we ballin'. I'd like to finish the conversation from yesterday. Is that okay with you? Or would you like more time?
어제 하던 이야기요?
We haven't finished talking about what you remember. I still don't think you're the culprit, so I would like to listen more closely.
제가 범인이라고 말씀드렸을 텐데요.
I want to hear the story to the end before I make my judgment.
정말 고집불통이군요.
Always. In the end, he conceded to my persuasion and groaned. Agreed? Sorry. Late at night, 4 people were in the Linder study. 3 of them vampires? Feels a little odd to be the only human in the room.
뭘 그렇게 경계하시죠? 뚫어지게 쳐다본다 해도 제 피는 더 이상 드릴 생각이 없는데요.
그런 게 아닙니다.
붉은 눈동자가 꽤 잘 어울리네요. 마음에 드는군요.
I loved his original eyes though. I'm very sad actually.
약을 이러는 게 아니라면 그 입 좀 다물어 주시죠. 아니, 애당초 당신은 아무 생각 없이 내뱉었지. 아론이 왜 쳐다보는지 죽어도 이해하지 못할 테니.
교수님,
이제 형사님도 아시겠죠? 다소 탁해지긴 했지만 제 눈동자 역시도 당신과 같은 선홍색이니까요.
당신도 뱀파이어란 말입니까?
맞아요. 그래서 지금 당신의 마음을 이해할 수 있어요. 나 역시도 찰리에게 구해진 목숨이지만 저자를 도무지 받아들일 수가 없거든요.
저만 그런 게 아니었군요.
Babies are fighting. Charlie snickered. Listening to Aaron and Harvey built some sort of camaraderie.
대체 왜들 그런 반응이죠? 말씀드렸을 텐데요. 전 당신들이 살려달라기에 살려줬을 뿐이라고.
I don't know. I like for out of all the three men, I like Charlie the least. He's so mean. The tensions rose again, and I had to quickly change the subject. Stop it. We're not gathered here to talk about that.
그런데 제가 궁금한 게 하나 있습니다만, 당신은 메리 체프먼의 피를 마시던 기억이 나서 그녀를 죽였다고 생각하고 있는 모양인데, 애당초 그들의 사이는 다수의 자상에 의한 과다출혈 아니던가요? 담당 형사였으니 그들의 해부 자료 또한 받아서 봤을 것 같은데요.
과다출혈이라고 되어 있었지만 장담은 할 수 없는 겁니다. 피를 흘렸지만 숨이 붙어 있었을 때 제가 그녀를 제때 구하지 못했기에 그렇게 됐을지도 모르는 일이니까요.
그럼 그 시체나 현장의 피를 전부 마신 건가요? 기억은 나나요?
그건 아닌 듯 했습니다. 현장에는 과다출혈이라고 설명이 될 만큼 다량의 피가 남아 있었으니까요. 하지만 제가 마신 건 맞습니다. 세 번째 사건이 일어났을 때 저는 그 근처에 있었고 우연히 현장을 발견했습니다. 그때까지만 해도 정신은 멀쩡했고 서에 남은 동료에게 연락하려고 했지만 어느 순간부터 기억이 사라졌고요.
그 시점에는 본인이 아직 뱀파이어라는 사실을 자각하지 못했던 거네요.
그렇습니다. 하지만 네 번째 사건 때 그날의 기억이 되살아났고 그 여자의 피를 마셨던 것이 떠올랐습니다. 그 쓰고도 떨린 맛이
Bitter?
아직도 생생한데.
Is that yummy?
잠깐, 뭐라고요?
Harvey quickly interjected, and Charlie spoke up with a curious expression.
제대로 된 피를 마신 게 아니군요.
Oh, it's the pig's blood! He drank the pig's blood! Like the one we were spreading all across the alleyway.
당신이 뱀파이어라면 살아있는 인간의 피가 그 어떤 음식보다 맛있었을 텐데요. 썩 맛이 없었다는 건 이미 심장에서 피가 나온 지 시간이 좀 지나서 신선도가 떨어진 거네요. 아, 물론 신선도가 살짝 떨어진다고 맛이 크게 변하는 건 아닙니다. 다만 그렇게나 쓰고 떨궜던 건 메리가 숨을 거둘 때의 상황이 썩 좋지 않았다는 것일 테죠. 불쌍하게도.
See, like he doesn't have to say things like this that would like make the MC sad. That's so mean. What are you talking about? I couldn't understand the flow of the conversation, and Charlie answered with a mysterious grin on his face.
제가 아가씨의 피를 마실 때 아가씨는 기분이 어떻죠?
Huh? Why would you ask such a thing?
말 안 해도 알고 있습니다. 아픈 건 둘째치고
Interesting.
행복하고 때로는 즐겁고.
Endorphins from getting bitten? Oh, you could say that.
뱀파이어가 피를 마시는 상대에게 쾌락을 느끼게 해주는 건 그래서인
What?
겁니다. 그 사람이 행복하지 않으면 최상급의 피를 마실 수 없거든요.
Is that so?
그런 겁니다.
아무튼 그렇다는 건 아론이 피를 마실 시점에 메리는 이미 죽어 있었을 가능성이 크겠네요. 게다가 나도 자상으로 인한 과다출혈이 그녀에게 더 크게 작용했을 거라고 봐요. 그리고 아론은 세 번째 사건에 대해서만 기억이 있을 뿐이지 그 전의 사건들과는 아직까지 이런 연관성이 없잖아요.
Oh, it's not the pig. So it's not the pig's blood. And I was pulling shit out of my ass. Got it.
백보 양보해서 정말로 당신이 메리의 피를 마셨을 수는 있어도 진범
정말로 그럴까요?
I am. That's why I brought you here.
그렇다면 이제 다음 플랜은 정해졌군요.
Charlie, with his signature relaxed smile, continued.
진범을 찾아야겠죠?
알겠습니다.
어차피 나도 슬슬 대학에 다시 강의하러 나갈 생각이었으니 소식이 있으면 들고 올게요.
The operation meeting that was held late at night proved to be more fruitful than expected. Okay, you guys, I need to go to the toilet, so be right back. Okay, I'm back. A few days had passed, and I could finally leave the mansion. Charlie was temporarily absent to go over the maid's tasks before outing, while Harvey went to King's College for his lectures. I finished getting ready and was about to return to my room when I ran into Aaron, who was coming out of the corridor.
오늘 나가는 날이니까?
Yes, I'll go see how the general atmosphere is, on top of chatting with some people. He looked in better health than the first day he stayed at the mansion. Probably because he feels it's more likely that he wasn't the one who killed those people. I felt glad that I had brought Aaron back to the mansion.
그렇군요.
He was a man of few facial expressions, but the voice seemed to show a hint of disappointment. That makes sense, since we found nothing after agreeing to find the real killer. Hence, I understood why Aaron was feeling a bit antsy, tired of waiting. As long as the real culprit is still out there, that person could very well be walking the streets of London among the innocents. I know it must be frustrating, but please be more patient inside here.
저도 알고 있습니다. 그래서 서재를 좀 빌릴까 합니다. 제가 들어가도 될까요?
Of course. Let me take you there, since I have some time at the moment. I nodded and led him to the study. After entering, Aaron took a look around and let out a small sound of exclamation.
여긴 언제 봐도 대단한 것 같습니다.
Is there a book you wanted to read?
딱히 정해둔 건 없습니다만
If he said he doesn't know what he wants to read, then surely I should recommend a book? Then may I choose one? I'll recommend something you might find interesting.
제 취향은 알고 있습니까?
The fun comes from the fact that I don't know it. But let me ask you this one thing. Would you like to read a made-up story or read about someone's opinion?
어떤 것이든 상관없습니다. 제가 읽어보지 않았던 것이라면.
I pondered on what book might be a good fit for him while watching him skimming through different books from the bookshelves. Aaron, would you like to try this one?
그건?
It's about vampires trapped in the castle, cursed by a demon lord. I read it a while ago from Charlie's recommendation. It should be useful in killing time at the very least.
뱀파이어라.
Well, you might learn about the situations you'll be facing in the near future. It might not sound very interesting, but I'll give you a reward if you finish that book before I come back.
제가 무슨 어린애인 줄 아십니까?
Well, these sorts of things are not exclusively for children. Having a goal is always more entertaining than waiting to no end. Aaron burst out a small laugh at my smooth comment. And with great timing, the door to the study opened and Charlie stepped inside.
아가씨, 가실까요? 시간이 늦었습니다.
Ah, right. Okay.
무사히 잘 다녀오시게.
Bye bye. Thank you. I'll be back soon. I left for Laker Street as Aaron opened up a book in the study. That night, after returning home, I sighed while returning home with my exhausted body. The rumors concerning Aaron have died down quite a bit, but I'm still having trouble finding any information on the real culprit.
어쩔 수 없죠. 경찰에서도 이제까지의 사건에 대해서는 이미 얻을 만한 정보는 다 얻었을 만큼 시간이 흘렀으니까요. 그런데도 진범을 찾을 수 없었으니 앞으로도 쉽지는 않을 테죠. 새로운 사건이 일어나지 않는 한요.
Yikes. Don't be ominous, Charlie. Even if it makes the investigation harder, it's much better if no further victims appeared. I left a scolding comment towards Charlie, who was merely shrugging, and looked for Aaron. I want to let Aaron know of this news. Where might he be? I walked to the place where I thought I might find him. The study? Oh, a balcony. Since he wanted to go outside, I thought he could be enjoying the fresh air outside. I was correct. Ah, Aaron, you were here.
마을엔 잘 다녀왔습니까?
It was decent. Fortunately, the rumors concerning you have died down quite a bit.
그건 다행이네요.
I'm sorry. It must be frustrating to stay in all day.
아닙니다. 어차피 아무 준비 없이 나가고 싶다고 해서 나갔다가는 쉽게 발목을 잡혔을 겁니다.
He closed the book he was reading and got up from the chair. Okay, fuck the auto then.
그래도 그렇게까지 지루하지는 않습니다. 이곳에는 확실히 당신이 자랑했던 대로 제가 아직 읽어보지 못한 책이 많아서요.
Right? Feeling proud, I smiled, and he chuckled softly. So, did you finish the book from earlier?
물론입니다. 생각보다 그렇게 길지는 않아서요.
How did you like it?
당신 말대로 확실히 심심풀이로는 좋은 이야기였습니다. 그들의 습성이 거기 적혀 있다고 해서 제게 도움이 될지는 아직 잘 모르겠습니다만.
Next time I'll find a more interesting book.
말했을 텐데요. 저는 제가 읽어보지 않은 것이라면 뭐든 상관없다고. 그럼 당신은 어떤 책이 취향이죠?
Okay, let me just. While doing that, I'm gonna slow the speed a little bit. Okay, and then save. Let's try this one first. I think I like a suspenseful mystery novel. It's as if I'm learning how to solve a difficult problem. It might also help with the case we're working on.
현실과 이야기는 다릅니다.
Well, I mean, I am aware. I think that's why these kinds of novels have a following. Stories always have endings. Someone sheds a light on a crime and finds the culprit in the end.
그럴지도 모르겠네요.
I felt a little bittersweet. No bittersweet. That's like romance. A beautiful romance novel. It may seem a little obvious, but I do love a good love story. You can experience vicariously through the books how it feels to love and be loved by someone.
그건 공감하지만 당신에게는 필요 없는 것 아닙니까?
Why? Aaron seemed to hesitate for a moment, then awkwardly replied as he avoided eye contact.
이미 많은 사랑을 받고 있는 것 같으니까요.
Is he blushing? Oh my god, wait. No. No, I'm not sure. I don't think he is. Shame. I hadn't expected him to say that, so I stared at him a bit, befuddled. That's a compliment, right?
그럴 겁니다.
It wasn't a completely true statement, but nevertheless it seemed like Aaron had a positive opinion about me. I was pleased. Whatever the case, since I found out that he was reading to kill time he spent locked up inside, I wanted to reward him somehow. Hi, welcome! Aaron, could you wait here just a minute? Having come up with a good idea, I left the balcony and came back with a small gift.
이건 그때 마셨던 와인이군요.
Correct? You haven't had proper food at the mansion ever since your awakening, have you?
먹어보려고 했지만 맛이 없었습니다.
Poor baby.
정확하게는 전부 쓰고 떫고 괴상해서 먹을 수가 없었고요.
Vampires can't taste most foods, but there is one thing they can enjoy. Can you guess what that is? Skillfully opened the bottle of wine with the opener while talking. It's this wine. I poured a glass of wine to Aaron, who awkwardly took the glass I handed him, as he came to a realization.
그래서 그때 그렇게 와인이 맛있게 느껴졌던 거군요.
Aw, even back then he couldn't eat. Right. So, let us cheers. You were human before, so being able to taste something must be very special to you now.
고맙습니다.
Aaron and I looked at each other in the eye, lightly clinked our glasses, and smiled. He took a sip and looked down at the purplish red hue and made a soft expression.
어릴 때 제가 지내던 지역에서는 매일같이 무언가에 의존하며 사는 사람들이 너무 많았습니다. 간신히 입에 풀칠할 정도로 종일 고생을 해서 돈을 벌면 그걸 금세 술을 사거나 약을 사는 데 탕진했죠. 그들은 살아가는 의미를 찾지 못해서 쉽게 인생을 포기하고 목숨을 내던졌습니다. 그걸 마주하는 사람들 역시도 마찬가지였고요. 길거리에 아픈이가 있어도 모른 척 지나가고 시체가 있어도 밟고 지나갈 정도로 무심했습니다. 그래서 저는 절대 이런 걸 가까이 할 일이 없을 거라고 생각했습니다.
No, baby.
그런데
He lightly swirled the glass with a bitter smile, and the remaining wine made a splashing sound.
이제는 이게 저에게 유일하게 남은 위로인 거군요.
I had never met Aaron in person before Mary's case. However, I remembered hearing rumors about him from time to time. Whether it was a dangerous mugger wielding a knife or just a pickpocket on the loose, he would go wherever he was needed as the honest, hard-working detective that he was. But now, he was a vampire who turned himself in, thinking that he may have murdered women in horrific ways. He tried not to show it, but it was clear that he would have been struggling inside. It wouldn't be easy, but why don't you think about it in a more positive way?
긍정적으로?
Being a vampire isn't all bad. There are some surprisingly good aspects about it. For example, you can run a little faster and longer than everyone else when chasing after a criminal. You have a bit more stamina than the average person. And you're slightly stronger as well, so it'll be easier for you to apprehend criminals. And with a longer lifespan, you'll be able to catch more criminals than others. Isn't that ideal for a detective? The words spilled out of me, and Aaron was just staring at me with widened eyes. He glanced down at the glass of wine in his hand and... He's cute. Yeah, I would be shocked too. He suddenly burst out laughing, and I flinched out of surprise.
그런 식으로 생각할 줄은 몰랐습니다. 당신은 제가 이렇게 되고도 너무 당연히 다시 형사로 돌아갈 수 있을 거라 생각하고 있지 않습니까?
Why not? Charlie's the butler at the Linder estate, and Harvey's a professor at King's College. We're nothing more than people who just think differently and live differently. You're the same Aaron Bailey, back when you were just a detective, and even after becoming a vampire.
그렇네요. 저는 아론 베일리죠. 이전에도 지금도.
Yes, don't you forget that. I held out the glass with a confident grin, and we clinked glasses. He looked a little brighter than before. It was a nice night where the wine we shared tasted especially sweeter. Some time had passed. Aaron slowly got used to his red eyes, and Harvey had recovered much of his strength. After visiting the main street to deliver official papers, Charlie summoned everyone to the study.
이제 슬슬 움직여봐도 좋을 것 같아서요.
Really? What should we do?
글쎄요. 일단은 사건이 원점으로 돌아갔으니 첫 번째 사건부터 다시 되짚어봐야 하지 않을까요? 세 번째 사건의 범인이 아론이 아니라면 하비가 읽어낸 기억도 사실 쓸모가 없다는 얘기죠. 그때 메리의 유품에서 붉은 눈동자의 남자가 서 있는 걸 봤다고 하지 않았나요?
그랬죠. 내 능력은 원하는 시점의 기억을 골라서 볼 수 있는 건 아니니까요.
That makes sense. What is Aaron's ability?
지금 무슨 말을 하고 있는 겁니까? 메리 체프먼의 유품에서 기억을 읽었다고요?
I guess we haven't told Aaron about it yet. Vampires have special abilities when they drink blood. Harvey has a psychometry ability that allows him to see the memory embedded in objects and places.
하지만 한동안 피를 잘 마시지 않았어. 이제는 그렇게까지 쉽게 능력을 쓰지 못해요. 아마 큰 도움은 되지 못할 거예요.
Aaron looked at Harvey in disbelief, then back at me, as if he had just remembered something.
이제 알겠군요.
What?
당신이 왜 메리 체프먼의 유품을 가지고 있었는지.
I'm sorry for not delivering it right away.
됐습니다. 어차피 저희는 그 유품에서 아무것도 발견하지 못했을 겁니다. 당시 메리의 물건을 훔쳐간 강도들을 잡는 게 아무래도 수사에는 더 도움이 됐을 텐데 이제는 그것조차도 불가능하게 되어버렸죠.
That's not my fault. That's Charlie's fault.
저기 있는 때문입니다.
Everybody has beef with Charlie. At the end of Aaron's case was Charlie, who was standing with a relaxed smile.
말해두지만 그건 정당방위였어요. 아가씨를 죽일 목적으로 접근했으니 그들을 죽이는 게 당연한 겁니다.
죽이지 않고 경찰서로 데리고 오는 게 그렇게 어려웠습니까? 당신 정도의 능력을 가졌다면 무력화해서 끌고 오는 것도 가능했을 것 같습니다만.
제게도 나름대로의 사정이 있어서요. 그럴 생각이 안 들었네요.
Things had been quiet between Charlie and Harvey lately, but now it seems like Charlie and Aaron had an issue. I rushed back to interject before it developed into another unwieldy situation. I'm sorry about that, truly.
이제 와서 이런 얘기를 해봤자 아무 소용없다는 건 알고 있습니다. 앞으로 어떻게 할지에 대해서 논의하는 게 낫겠죠.
그게 현명한 판단일 겁니다, 형사님.
Charlie grinned, satisfied, and Aaron ignored him with a heavy sigh.
일단 저는 경찰서에 다녀오고 싶습니다.
Really? The station? Why?
설마 다시 자수하러 가는 건 아니겠죠?
그건 아닙니다. 두고 온 사건 자료를 가지러 가고 싶어서요. 일이 이왕 이렇게 됐으니 당신 말대로 처음부터 사건을 다시 훑어보는 것도 좋을 것 같다고 생각하기 때문입니다.
Wouldn't his desk be cleaned up already?
하지만 본인이 직접 가는 건 너무 위험한 것 같은데요.
That's right. Isn't there any other way to retrieve the files? Or... I mean, ask for a favor, I guess, would be... Let me check the walkthrough. Zip. Is there anyone you can ask for help in bringing the files out? From what I've heard, you were quite well respected within the police department.
자수하기 전이었으면 그런 부탁쯤 어렵지 않았겠죠. 하지만 지금은 누구도 믿어주지 않을 겁니다.
Oh, don't be like that. I doubt that. Even when I went to the police station before, everyone seemed puzzled. The room fell silent as everyone was thinking about what could be done.
내가 가는 게 제일 나을 것 같네요.
You, Harvey? Do you have a solution?
확실히 교수님이라면
어머?
가능할 것 같습니다.
난 범죄 심리학에 관해서도 연구하는데
Ooh.
가끔 경찰들에게도 수사를 위한 조언을 하러 가거든요. 범인에게 어떻게 자백을 얻어내면 좋을지 자문을 하기도 해요. 그걸 위해서 실제 수사 자료를 넘겨받는 일도 흔치 않게 있고요. 그러니 이번에도 베인스에게 부탁하면 아마 도와줄 거예요.
You see? That's great then.
그럼 잘 부탁드립니다.
내가 오늘 다녀올 테니 나머지 사람들은 여기서 기다리세요.
그렇게 하죠.
Is Aaron okay? We found a solution, yet Aaron looked quite somber. I was worried, but before I could ask what bothered him, we all split to carry out our own task. What task? Only Harvey got one. That afternoon, I was focusing on the stacked documents while I waited for Harvey to return with the case files. Yes, come in.
하비 교수님에게서 자료를 받아왔습니다. 괜찮다면 여기서 정리를 해도 되겠습니까? 다른 사람들도 보기 편할 것 같고요.
Of course. And Charlie brought this beforehand in case we needed it later. I pointed to the wooden chalkboard propped up against the wall. He walked towards the board, started taking out the files in the envelope, but stopped. He turned to face me and started speaking.
괜찮겠습니까?
What do you mean?
이 안에는 당시의 현장
Oh.
상황을 담은 사진이나 그림이 들어 있습니다. 그걸 이 칠판에 붙인다는 건
Aww. He's so worried for us. He's so sweet. I'll be seeing it too. To be honest, I didn't think I could keep a straight face while looking at those kinds of images. Even if I know what had happened, I was still just a noble lady who grew up safe and sound inside a mansion. However, I was the one who decided to take part in this investigation, so it wasn't right that I avoided it now. But, are you okay with it, Aaron? Aren't they secret files?
이 저택에 머무르기로 한 순간부터 우리는 사실상 한 배를 탄 겁니다. 이제 와서 선을 긋는 건 아무런 도움이 되지 않습니다.
I see your point. I nodded. Aaron took that as a sign of approval and pulled a stack of papers out of the envelope. One by one, he started pinning notes and photos in chronological order. Oof. It was fine at first. Streets with pools of blood, limp hands, people surrounding the scene. The photos contained more than I expected. Oop, and I could notice new things upon making a careful observation. Sorry, I need to charge. Okay, should be good. The photo. Okay, that one I'm already watched. However, the moment I saw the faces of the victims, I felt extremely nauseous. Mary.
역시 힘든 것 같은데 이 사진들은
Aw,
빼겠습니다.
sweetie. Wait. Mary died while suffering, unable to even close her eyes. I couldn't look away just because it was difficult to face it. After all, Mary's death was the reason we started investigating the case. I wanted to make sure I remembered her last appearance. It's okay now. May heaven keep her pain-free and happy. I said a little prayer and was about to quickly wipe away the tears that were about to fall when...
미안합니다.
Oh, he's so sweet. Also, he's so handsome, but he's so sweet. Aaron apologized in a quiet tone, reached out and wiped the tears off for me. Why are you apologizing, Aaron? Aaron's calloused hand touched my face, and my heart skipped a beat, and the tears went straight back in.
제가 조금 더 빨리 범인을 체포할 수 있었더라면 이렇게나 많은 희생자가 나올 일은 없었을 테니까요. 형사로서 제대로 일하지 못한 제 탓입니다.
Aaron?
처음 형사가 됐을 때 이제는 더 많은 사람을 구할 수 있을 거라고 생각했습니다. 이제는 그런 어설픈 의지나 열정만으로는 이 현실을 어떻게 할 수 없다는 걸 알고 있지만 어쩌면 구할 수 있었을지도 모르는 생명이라고 생각할수록 무력한 저 자신이 부끄럽고 한심하게 느껴집니다.
It's not like it's your fault there's crimes.
그래서 지금 아무것도 할 수 없는 상황이 더욱 답답하게 느껴지는 거겠죠.
His tone was quite casual, but his fists were tightly clenched, as if he was holding something back. You did nothing wrong, Aaron. You don't need to apologize to me. You've always worked hard to protect the street and its people. However, the absurdities in the world happen outside your control, and they often make you feel like your efforts have been futile. So, it's not your fault. We're going to find a culprit and make them pay for this, right?
알고 있습니다. 하지만 어쩔 수 없었다고, 막을 수 없었다고. 자기 합리화를 하기는 싫었습니다. 그런 식으로 말하기 시작하는 순간 분명 저 역시도 그 한계에 안주하게 될 것 같았으니까요.
I looked into his anguished eyes with pity and accidentally locked eyes with him. And we realized that we were standing close enough for our shoulders to be touching. That's really close.
미안합니다. 제가 또 무신경하게.
Aaron and I both took a step back. I hadn't noticed it until now, and my face was getting heated up. Ouch. I put my weight on the desk and accidentally stabbed my finger with the tip of a pen. Really, girl?
무슨 일이죠?
It's nothing. Just a small stab. Feeling the sting, I checked my palm and saw that the small amount of blood was starting to form.
피가 나는 거면 치료를 해야겠습니다. 상처를 잠깐 봐도.
Hungry? Aaron was trying to take a look at my palm and suddenly froze, as if he had realized something. I'm quite alright, so... He seemed shocked at himself for so naturally realizing that I started bleeding, without even seeing the injury himself. Oh, he's so sad! Oh, my poor baby! Oh dear, this is why I hid my hand. I noticed that Aaron's eyes became more saturated, and instinctively felt that it couldn't be avoided anymore. Never mind, he wasn't sad, he was just hungry. Would you like to drink it?
아닙니다. 저는 괜찮습니다.
I could feel a familiar desire from the slightly trembling voice. Fuck, no, I won't leave. Who the fuck would leave? I brought my hand closer to his face and spoke in a calm voice. You can drink it. You've just awakened as a vampire. Charlie said that you'll be hypersensitive to the slightest scent of blood right now. Okay.
그때마다 당신의 피를 마신다면 저는 더 이상 인내하는 법을 배우지 못하게 될 겁니다. 당신은 모르겠지만 갈증을 느끼기 시작했을 때 저를 채워주는 그 피의 쾌락은 정말 강렬했습니다.
So?
인생에서 한 번도 맛본 적이 없던 만족감이었죠. 배고파서 쓰러지기 일보 직전이었을 때 누군가가 던져준 딱딱한 빵 한 조각을 먹었을 때보다 더 황홀했습니다.
His grip on my hand tightened, and a drop of blood trickled down my skin. Aaron?
저는 대체 어떻게 해야...
Every time he let out an anguished groan, I wanted to offer him my blood. However, I could feel his determination to control himself, so I couldn't bring it up. Poor baby! Aaron, if it's that difficult, should I leave you alone?
아닙니다.
He shook his head and barely managed to pull his hand away from mine.
제가 나갈 겁니다. 바깥 공기를 마시면서
Poor
숨을
baby.
들이마겠습니다.
Okay. Eventually he gave up, seemingly exhausted by his internal conflicts. He turned his back on me and left the study, never to return. The next day, Aaron started acting noticeably weird. Oh, Aaron! Where did you move the chalkboard with the files on it? It was there until yesterday.
그게 아무래도 보기가 불편해서 제 방으로 옮겼습니다.
You don't want me anymore? Is that so? Can I go look at it now? There was a file I wanted to look over again.
지금은 안 되겠습니다. 제가 훈련하러 가야 하는 시간이라서요.
Excuse me? Wait, Aaron? He claimed to have gone training, but he didn't come back to the mansion all day. Being abandoned by a hot dude. Damn. Ah, Aaron! I recently received a delicious bottle of wine. Would you like to share it later?
그렇군요. 저는 괜찮습니다. 그것보다 해야 할 일이 있어서 이만.
Where is a fugitive going? Business? What kind? Aaron, with his mysterious business, entered his room and didn't show his face for the rest of the day. Aaron.
여기까지 무슨 일이시죠? 죄송합니다만 제가 마침 나가려던 참이라 지금은 대화가 어려울 것 같습니다. 나중에 다시 얘기하시죠.
Hey, what on earth can you be so busy with within this mansion? I yelled at his back, but he didn't turn around and walked out of the guest room. After several repetitions, even a dull idiot would have known that he was acting odd. Moreover, I was used to reading the room, so I could already sense that Aaron was avoiding me. This isn't the time for such drama. I should have a proper conversation with him. But how am I supposed to make him stay when he avoids me every time we run into each other? He started acting weird ever since I got that small injury in the study. So I had a vague idea of why he was acting as such, but I couldn't be sure without hearing from him. At that moment, the door to the balcony opened, revealing the man of the hour. We made eye contact, but he quickly turned away with the obvious intent to run away from me. Wait. I ran over and grabbed his arm as tight as I could. CG? No, CG.
잠깐.
We need to talk. I'm not letting you get away without a conversation.
이것 좀 놔주시겠습니까? 저는 그저 당신의 시간을 방해하고 싶지 않을 뿐입니다. 그러니까
No one's falling for that. You're avoiding me because you don't want to give in to your thirst and end up drinking blood. Are you that repulsed by your vampire self? Are you afraid of facing it? I'm the one who said you'll need time to adjust, but I don't want to see you avoid everything like this. Aaron struggled a little as he watched me grab onto his sleeve and shout my hair hard out, but he soon calmed down.
알고 있었던 겁니까?
How could I not? You were so very obviously shaken by my blood that day.
그랬군요.
I told you, it's only natural for a vampire to want to drink blood. It's like when humans are thirsty and quench their thirst with water.
아닙니다.
What do you mean it isn't? I'm telling you, you can just drink blood when you see...
그게 아니라는 말입니다.
I'm not telling you to rush yourself to getting used to it. I'm just telling you not to reject the idea of...
제가 피를 마시지 않는 건 그 이유 때문이 아니라는 겁니다.
Frustrated by my rambling, he raised his voice more than usual. I realized that I was too emotional, and I went quiet.
저에게는 그게 문제가 아닙니다.
Then what is?
제가 뱀파이어가 됐든 사람이 아닌 다른 존재이든 사실 그건 상관없습니다. 다만 이런 존재가 된 제가 당신의 피를 탐한다는 것이
I told you, my blood is...
당신의 피라서 그런 겁니다. 제가 본능적으로 탐하는 게 당신의 목숨일지도 모른다는 게 그게 두렵습니다. 저는 아직 어떻게 해야 당신이 아프지 않게 피를 마실 수 있는지 기본적인 것조차 아무것도 모르는 괴물이니까요. 저로 인해 당신이 조금이라도 다친다면
baby.
그때야말로 저는 저 자신을 용서할 수 없을 것 같습니다. 그걸 상상하는 것만으로도 이렇게나 당신 앞에서 도망치고 싶어지는 제가 한심하더라도 그래도
Aaron, I could feel how much he's been struggling for the past few days. After a moment of thought, I took a step forward, closer to him.
다가오지 마세요. 그냥 그 자리에 있어요. 부탁이니까.
I guess I smell really yummy. I'm afraid I can't do that. And with that, I closed the distance and finally went into his embrace. Let's go, girlie! Get your man! He was taken aback, but he still opened his 2 arms to accept me. However, I could sense that his hands were hovering, not knowing where to go. I chuckled. I am fine. He is so pretty. Like, I think I like Harvey the most, the personality, but then again, this guy is like growing on me and he's really pretty, so that doesn't help. There was something I wanted to say to you ever since you came to this mansion. To the man who was so cautious that his breath might reach me. Thank you for saving me. Actually, I still don't remember the events that clearly. I heard you saved me, but I wasn't even aware of it this whole time. If I had known earlier, you wouldn't have had to be so confused. He's so pretty. That moment, a strong, humid gust blew towards us without warning. And Aaron tightened his arms, as if to protect me from it.
어차피 그건 저도 마찬가지입니다. 분명히 그날 간절하게 살려달라고 외치던 여자를 구해줬던 기억은 있는데 그게 당신인지 알아보지 못했습니다. 그저 어디선가 잘 살고 있을 거라고 막연하게 생각하면서 지나쳤죠.
And I'm sorry. I made you this way. I'm sorry for dragging you all the way here when you were just living your life as an ordinary detective. I was going to wait to apologize until Aaron was done accepting the events that had transpired. A corner of my heart stung as I opened up about something I had been holding tightly to. I wonder if it came from the guilt I felt for putting him in this position, and the responsibility I felt to help him in any way I could. He called my name in a lowered voice.
사과할 필요는 없습니다. 당신이 책임감을 느낄 일도 아니고요. 저는 제가 뱀파이어가 될 거라는 걸 알고 있는 상태에서 시간을 되돌린다 해도 아마 또다시 당신을 구할 겁니다. 그리고 당신이 아니더라도
Oh. Well, yeah, but
저를 구해달라고 외친다고 해도 똑같겠죠.
he's so sweet.
이렇게 된 걸 후회하는 게 아닙니다. 다만 저는 그렇게까지 해서 구해낸 당신을 오히려 이번엔 제가 다치게 할까봐 그게 가장 두려울 뿐입니다.
But I want you to. You!
뭐라고요?
Exactly, babe. Imagine if you, Aaron, a detective, were to make an error in judgment and hurt someone else. If you bit someone else's neck and drank their blood, causing them to die. Charlie is here, and so is Harvey. At least you won't get lost and make a mistake here. So I want you to use me, to get used to this life. Even if the rest of the world sees you in a different light and runs away, I won't. I'm the heir of the Linders, and we've been under a blood contract with the vampires for a long time.
당신은 정말
I rambled on, and eventually, Aaron let out a small chuckle. Oh my god, that is like really... Okay. There, he ever so slightly kissed my exposed shoulder, breathing shakily. Breathing shakily, yeah. His skin has become cold now, and I couldn't feel any human warmth from him, but... Arms that were wrapped around me were warmer than anything else, and I wasn't afraid at all.
괜찮습니까?
You're chill, babe. I am, so drink until you're sated.
제가 어떻게...
Don't be afraid. I'm truly alright. The familiar feeling of liquid escaping my body. There was a time when I used to become tense from the fear of this sensation. There were times when I wanted to cry, when I met vampires I didn't know. However, Aaron was someone who risked his life to protect me. So I thought I should overcome my fears and protect him in return.
미안해요.
It's okay, baby.
미안합니다.
It's okay. You can drink. Oh no, you're doing great. Little by little and slowly. That's right. Actually, I did think that the warmth was leaving my shoulders faster than usual. He's probably hungry, poor baby. So my hands that were holding him were getting weaker, and my vision started blurring, but desperately tried to hold on to my consciousness. He called my name in an aching tone, and my legs gave out, and I fell to the floor. I'm okay, so don't worry about it. I'll be better after a short nap. So, just a little. I'll take a short break. The drowsiness overwhelmed me, and I closed my eyes, hoping that he wouldn't be overly concerned about me when I woke up. That was the last thought that crossed my mind. Felt like waking up from deep, dreamless slumber that I haven't had in a long time. Everything is blurry. It's fucking with me. My mind was still groggy, but I tried my best to open my eyes and lift my body.
이제 일어나셨습니까?
It's like not wearing my glasses. A very raspy voice came out of my mouth, which made it difficult to believe that it was my own. My vision cleared, and as I saw Charlie, who was right in front of me. Charlie? I realized he looked serious, and a chill ran down my spine. I'm fine, we're fine. I don't know how, but Aaron noticed I woke up and burst into the room. I saw Aaron, and I had a bad feeling that I wouldn't be able to stop what was going to happen. Wait, Charlie!
네 놈이 감히 여기가 어디라고 들어오지? 조절조차 제대로 하지 못하는 갓 태어난 뱀파이어 따위가 감히 아가씨를 저렇게 만들어? 나조차도 이런 식으로 대한 적이 없는 분을?
Charlie quickly grabbed Aaron by the scruff of the neck and shoved him against the wall, ranting in rage. Aaron struggled for a moment in agony, struggling to breathe, but Charlie didn't budge.
그건 무슨 자격으로 아가씨 이름을 부르지?
So what? I like it!
당장이라도 찢어 죽여도 시원찮을 판에 겁도 없이 내 눈앞에 나타나?
Charlie! Dude, I volunteered! I had a hard time moving my body, so I urgently shouted out towards Charlie. Don't do this, Charlie. I wanted this to happen. Aaron didn't do anything wrong.
이게 아가씨가 원하는 일이라는 겁니까?
Yes, so please, just put him down. I locked eyes with Aaron, who was hanging on the wall, and I got out of bed with an apologetic look on my face. He still looked unconvinced, but his grip on Aaron loosened. Poor baby! Aaron, are you okay? I rushed to Aaron, who was coughing violently, and he shook his head instead of answering.
명심해 두는 게 좋을 거야. 아가씨가 원하시니 당장은 너를 살려두겠지만 이런 일이 한 번만 더 일어난다면 그때는 아가씨가 눈을 다시 뜨기도 전에 난 이 세상에 없을 거다.
기억해두겠습니다.
Charlie gritted his teeth as he left the room, leaving Aaron to catch his breath.
이제 괜찮은 겁니까?
I'm awake because I'm okay. He looked into my eyes, his hands shaking. Oh, baby, it's okay, baby.
혹시라도 당신이 잘못됐을까봐 미쳐버릴 것만 같았습니다. 역시 그날 당신의 피를 마시는 게 아니었는데 제가 그렇게 쉽게 선을 넘어버릴 줄은 생각도 하지 못하고.
Well, I did sort of expect it. You don't need to be so apologetic.
뭐라고요?
In the night of the full moon, vampires are more prone into giving into the temptations of blood. Even Charlie's crossed the line a few times. So he avoids drinking my blood entirely during the full moon. I figured it might not go as planned since you're still prone to losing control easily. Aaron sighed deeply, at the loss for words, and I decided to change the subject. Anyways, Aaron, you've never shown me the files after that day.
자료요?
The case files? You were avoiding me so much that I haven't had a proper chance to take a look at it.
그건 미안하게 생각합니다.
Yeah, you better be. So, let's get back to the drawing board. We were putting it off since we've been busy, but we've got to find the culprit. You'll help me, right?
물론입니다.
Despite my obvious intentions, Aaron eventually smirked and nodded, playing along. That day, we gathered in the study again, going through the files and discussing the case again. Looking at the list of witnesses from the first and second case, there hasn't been any new information since then. And on the third, Mary's case, the robbers who took her belongings and the child who witnessed the theft. And on the fourth case, we have almost no information, since Aaron turned himself in right away.
그건 그렇겠죠.
However, no matter how much information we shared, there was no sign of anything new, and we hit a dead end.
하비 교수님에게 사이코메트리 능력이 있다고 했었나요?
Ah yes, he can see the memory embedded in certain places or objects.
어쩌면 그걸 기대해 보는 게 차라리 나을 수도 있겠습니다.
What's your power, babe?
평범한 수사 방침으로는 저희도 한계가 있다고 느끼고 있었으니까요.
Is that the only option? I was on the fence about whether I should go talk to Harvey when something came to mind. Come to think of it, when you arrested Charlie, didn't you say something more? You said how there was another witness who claimed to have seen a man with red glowing eyes kill Mary. And that's what led to the additional charges against Charlie.
그랬었죠. 저는 그 증언 때문에 찰리가 범인이 아니라면 붉은 눈동자가 된 제가 틀림없이 그날의 범인일 거라고 생각했는데.
Will we be able to see that person again? If they were that sure, that person must have a clear memory of the scene. Perhaps it will be helpful to hear a more detailed story.
하지만 저는 지금 지명수배의 신분이고 대뜸 그 사람을 찾아가면 오히려 목숨의 위기를 느낄 수도 있지 않을까요?
That sounds fun. It'll be fine, Aaron. You can just stay behind me and stay hidden. If anything happens, you can come out and save me. But I can do the talking.
알겠습니다.
We decided to visit the witness at night, when there were less people out on the streets. I tried to get help from Charlie and Harvey before we left, but I didn't have enough time. Charlie left to see my father for an urgent matter, and Harvey was back at his own house to take care of some business as well. I left a letter in the study in case they returned, so Charlie will be able to locate me if necessary. But Aaron, where are we headed?
아, 제가 아직 말하지 않았던가요? 그때 사건을 직접 목격했다고 말한 사람은 카페 아모르체 펠릭스 콜입니다.
He's the killer, absolutely. There's no question about it anymore at this point. Huh? Felix? An unexpected name came up, and I was momentarily stunned. How did Felix...
글쎄요. 정확하게는 저도 잘 몰라요. 아침에 갑자기 누군가가 여기 시체가 있다며 비명을 질렀고 경찰이 와서 보더니 살인 사건이라고 하더라고요. 그리고는 보다시피 저렇게 밤낮으로 증거를 찾겠다고 길을 막아놨어요. 손님들 말로는 몇 번이나 칼에 배를 찔려서 죽었대요.
I heard that too.
그렇군요. 왜 이렇게 흉흉한 일이 일어났는지 모르겠네요.
Isn't it you? I think it's you. A hot guy that I can't date? Sus. He said that he didn't know anything about the case, but he reported to Aaron that he witnessed the scene. I couldn't tell if he really witnessed the scene and hid something from me, or if he was lying from the beginning. That was Felix? I guess we'll have to go and talk to him. So does that mean we're heading to Amorse right now?
맞습니다.
Does he not have a house? We chose a rather empty street that was far from the main street, and we arrived later than usual. The light would have normally been on at this hour, but it seemed like they closed early. The store was dark inside.
여기 없군요.
Seems so. Is he coming back? Let's see. By the way, it turns out the game is kind of short, so I might be able to finish it soon. Wait a little more outside. Should we wait a little outside? Perhaps Felix is coming back.
그러죠. 저는 이 근처를 잠깐 둘러보겠습니다.
You're leaving me alone here? I was taken aback, and Aaron realized what he said and quickly apologized.
그러고 보니 카페가 없는 걸 잊어버렸습니다.
Babe.
그냥 같이 있는 게 낫겠네요. 카페가 이미 문을 닫은 거라면 자택으로 가야 할 것 같습니다. 혹시 주소를 알면...
Aaron was looking all around and suddenly froze. Aaron? What's wrong? Aaron? He was staring into the distance, as if he was possessed by something.
피냄새가...
Blood?
심장이 뛰는 사람의 혈관에서 방금 터져나온 듯한 신선한 피냄새가 나는군요.
He's like a dog. Good boy. Aaron muttered, his crimson eyes glowing ominously. He soon began walking away. Wait, Aaron!
빨리 찾아내야만.
He struggled to get the words out and left the main street to enter deeper into the alleyway. I also followed Aaron deeper into the dark. Killing CG? The structure of the alleyway was quite complicated, but Aaron never got lost and walked straight to the destination. It was as if the scent of blood, which was unnoticeable to me, was guiding him, apart from his familiarity with the street. Aaron, how far are you going?
Shh.
As if that was the signal, Aaron stopped in his tracks, and I accidentally slammed my face into his back. I stumbled as I stepped back for a moment, but he quickly grabbed my waist, saving me from falling. And when I turned my head to follow Aaron's gaze, is it because I didn't eat the cherry pudding cake? In the pitch black dark that even the streetlights seemed to be avoiding, I could see moving shadows with the sound of something piercing raw flesh. Under a big shadow that was swinging something, there was a smaller shadow that was completely still. I looked toward Aaron, barely muffling the scream that was about to come out of me. He stood still, breathless, one arm holding me up, staring at the sight before us.
당신은 그대로 뒤로 물러나서 떨어져 있는 게 좋겠습니다. 지금 피 냄새가 너무 강렬해서 조금만 방심하면 이성을 잃을 것 같아서요.
Okay. I wanted to deny it, but I knew instinctively what the sight meant. I quickly nodded. I remember the brutal scene Aaron and I stumbled upon on the night we walked together. However, as I was stepping back, I failed to notice the tin can on the floor and accidentally stepped on it. A loud noise echoed throughout the alleyway, and I clutched my trembling hand and lifted my gaze. The shadow that was previously unaware of our presence looked up and turned around, and the pale moonlight illuminated his face. White clothes. Why wear white clothes when you're going to kill someone? So stupid. White clothes stained with crimson red blood, a hand grasping a sharp knife. Partially sweaty, khaki hair. Khaki? Flowing in the breeze. Dark amber eyes. A horrible realization settled within me as I found out who it was.
아가씨 맞나요?
Thing is, though, I don't like the game clearly showing us that he's the killer from the beginning. Like, it's very obvious it's him. Where's the mystery? Where's my pounding romance? Felix? I didn't even want to know whose name I was calling out. I desperately hoped that the person in front of me, smiling with a bloody knife that didn't fit a pastry chef at all, wasn't him. What are you doing here? I tried to keep my voice as steady as possible while he spoke in his usual kind tone.
오른손이 하는 일을 왼손이 모르게 하라고 했는데
This is how I get my ingredients.
생각지도 못한 곳에서 들켜버렸네요.
What?
더 이상 그에게 말을 걸지 마세요. 어차피 상황은 명확하고 곧바로 그를 현행범으로 체포하는 게 가장 안전할 겁니다.
Aaron had one arm out the whole time to protect me, but I could see that his face was beaded with sweat.
아, 그 형사님하고 같이 있었구나.
Yeah, of course I am. He's hot.
어차피 지금 지명수배 당하고 있는 사람이니 들켜도 상관없으려나?
Felix? Why on earth would you do something like this?
말을 걸지 말라고.
아가씨, 기억나세요? 제가 아직 분가의 태생으로 콜 가문의 시종을 하고 있을 때 린델가에 처음 인사를 하러 갔었죠. 그때 주머니에서 떨어뜨린 스콘을 아가씨가 우연히 주워서 먹어주셨던 그때부터.
Why would a lady eat a scone off the ground? What? What is this?
당신을 위해서 그 어떤 것이라도 하리라고 결심했어요.
I suppose these women, I'm gonna completely guess, are these women the ones who are bad-mouthing us? I don't know though.
분가 출신이라는 이유만으로 모든 사람이 다 저를 무시했을 때
Dude, I think
아가씨만이 제 책임을 인정해줬죠.
I think she's just a glutton if she picked up a scone that fell on the ground and ate it. I don't know, man.
그렇게 해서 카페 아모르차를 얻게 됐을 때 얼마나 가슴이 떨렸는지. 아가씨.
Oh, sorry. No, I do. I remember how elated you were after acquiring the rights to your shop. But why are you talking about the past out of nowhere?
어? 왜냐하면 저에게 왜 이런 짓을 했냐고 물어보셨잖아요.
The voice actor's good. He answered as if it was much too obvious, and I was stunned for a moment. Felix, reminiscing those days, continued talking.
저는 당신이 항상 제 케이크를 먹으며 환하게 웃는 그 순간들이 좋았어요. 그래서 항상 웃게 해주고 싶었죠. 아가씨를 우울하게 만드는 모든 것들은 다 이 세상에서 지워주고 싶었어요. 그것뿐이에요.
He became more and more infuriated, as if he was remembering something repulsive.
매일같이 아가씨가 구호물자로 보낸 물건을 팔아다가 술 사는데 썼던 여자. 아가씨가 보낸 음식을 공짜로 받아 먹으면서도 맛이 없다고 맨날 투덜거리며 욕하던 여자. 아가씨와 가장 가까운 곳에 있으면서도 당신이 아가씨다운 품위가 전혀 없다면서 부끄러워하던 그 여자까지도.
What?
그리고 이 여자는 아가씨 눈앞에서
I knew it.
험담하던 바로 그 여자예요. 겁도 없이 바로 제 카페에서 말이에요.
Wait a moment. I finally remembered. Is that the Linder heir? She looks like every other girl out there. The rumors of her beauty must have been a lie. She's here to get scones all by herself. It's obvious her employees don't even work properly. Good morning, what's happening? The killer is a yandere. Wasn't it her mate that got murdered recently? Terrifying. With all that terror, how do they even go to work? I pity the people who work under her. It was the day I got scones and biscuits for Aaron right after Charlie was released. It seemed to be the woman who was slandering me behind my back. There are two, though. Realizing that, I came to a shocking conclusion. Then, Felix, you killed Mary? No, it can't be.
그 여자는 죽어 마땅했어요. 말이 안 되잖아요. 아가씨는 그 누구보다도 아름다운데.
I regret using my name.
그거 아세요? 심지어 이 여자는 백작가로 들어가야 하는 고급 밀가루를 빼돌리려고 했어요. 내가 당신을 위해 만들어야 하는 그 케이크에 들어갈 밀가루를 말이에요. 정말 악독한 죄이지 않아요?
The most heinous crime, pocketing a high quality flower. Sorry. I can't take him seriously.
이 정도 죄는 대체 어느 정도 벌을 줘야 할지 도저히 감이 잡히지 않아요.
Clearly only murder, yes, obviously.
얼굴을 갈기갈기 찢어놓은 후에 내장을 전부 꺼내서 가족들에게 던져줘야 할까요?
She has like one daughter. It's a small one at that.
살아있는 동안에 심장을 꺼내어 굶주린 개들에게 던져주는 것도 좋겠어요.
And also you already killed her. What is this?
그러면 본인이 얼마나 끔찍한 죄를 저지른 건지 죽는 순간까지 참여할 수 있을 테니.
Stop it, Felix. Don't say another word. Every word that came out of his mouth was horrifying, and I couldn't hear any more of it. My head hurt and my eyes were spinning. I felt like I could spill out everything inside my stomach. My legs gave way and I stumbled as Aaron grabbed onto my shoulders with force.
더 이상은 안 됩니다. 그대로 여기 있어요.
Aaron? His breathing was irregular, and I could see the pained expression on his face, as if he was holding something back. Aaron was struggling to keep his sanity amidst the smell of blood that was overwhelming this area. Are you okay? Can you keep your wits about you? You can't?
저도 알고 있습니다. 이 자리에서 펠릭스를 체포해야 합니다.
Aaron?
그러고 보니 물어보고 싶은 게 있었는데, 형사님, 진짜 피를 마신 건가요?
Why were you looking?
뭐?
Aaron frowned at the unexpected question from Felix.
제가 봤거든요. 그날 붉은 눈으로 변한 형사님이 제가 죽인 여자한테 다가가더니 바닥에 피를 손으로 떠서 마시려고 하던 모습을요. 사실 그때는 좀 소름 돋았어요. 차라리 시체에 입을 대고 마셨으면 나았을 텐데 굳이 더러운 걸 주워 먹으려던 것 같아서요.
No, because I was actually just thinking that, like, the only way you can scoop blood from the ground if there's a pothole, and like it's like the grossest shit. Like, I agree with Felix here. He may be stupid, crazy, but he ain't stupid.
그런데 그 다음 날 보니까 눈동자 색은 멀쩡하게 초록색이더라고요. 이상하다 싶었지. 분명히 나는 형사님을 본 것 같았는데 너무 궁금해서 그 후로 도서관에 가서 자료를 좀 찾아봤어요. 사람의 피를 탐하는 붉은 눈동자를 가진 존재.
And how did sorry, I'm still thinking of him like drinking blood out of a pothole. Like how is he doing? I want to see.
그걸 뱀파이어라고 부른다면서요.
Felix really did see it. He saw when Aaron lost his mind, drawn by the smell of blood, and tried to drink Mary's blood.
진짜 맞아요?
I would be surprised too. Felix seemed convinced that he found the truth by the look on my and Aaron's faces that were stiff as a board. Proud of himself, he beamed.
와, 설마 했는데 정말 피를 탐하는 종족이 세상에 존재하다니. 세상 오래 살고 볼 일이네요. 그렇게 해서 당신이 자수했다는 기사를 봤을 땐 한동안은 수사가 좀 잠잠하려나 싶어서 좋았는데, 그런데 이상하네. 당신이 왜 아가씨와 같이 여기 있는 걸까? 설마 아가씨가 당신을 탈출시켜준 건 아니겠죠?
Technically, it was the two other men. Felix's smile vanished as his gaze fell on me. I felt an uncontrollable rush of dread. I was about to take a step back when I felt Aaron's grip on my shoulder tighten. Aaron? Felix looked at Aaron's response and smirked in amusement.
그러고 보니 그때도 그랬죠? 피를 마시고 싶어서 안달이 난 것 같던데. 지금도 그런가 봐요? 막 피냄새에 미쳐버릴 것 같고 그런 건가요? 입 닥쳐! 그럼 이건 어때요?
I like his voice. He lifted the knife and plunged it straight into the figure beneath him. Felix! Ah! Stop it! I shuddered and screamed as blood splattered everywhere.
펠릭스!
Is it Felix or Felix? Aaron glared at Felix, his voice filled with rage. Realizing that he was in a mentally risky state, I rushed and grabbed Aaron's sleeve, but... He lunged at Felix in an instant, snapping his arm and throwing him to the ground. And...
펠릭스 콜, 앤 니콜스, 엘리자베스 베스트, 메리 체프먼, 캐서린 로드의 살인 혐의, 그리고 또 하나의 살인죄를 추가하여 당신을 현행범으로 체포한다.
in his anguish, he still managed to pronounce all the victims' names correctly. He handcuffed Felix as he struggled and pulled him to his feet. Aaron arrested Felix, but he couldn't take him to the station while he was still a wanted fugitive. We returned to the mansion, leaving the rest to Harvey, who had found my letter and chased after us. But poor baby. Aaron, come on, hold it together. It's okay now. Aaron's thirst was so intense that he was clutching his neck in pain. Poor baby! He had just become a vampire and was overly sensitive to the smell of blood, and today was overstimulating for him. He kept scratching his throat, somehow trying to quench his burning thirst, and his nail marks where his nail marks creates blood? No, stop it, please. He could have had a little nibble from the corpse. Even speaking seemed difficult to him, as he only let out sounds that were adjacent to screaming. However, he still managed to stay off of me, only coughing and breathing heavily. Aaron, I've never seen a vampire go out of control to that extent, and I didn't know what was going to happen to me. Knowing the situation all too well, Charlie rushed out to procure a large quantity of blood, but he had not returned yet. He even begged me not to give him my blood. Where on earth is Charlie? At first I followed his advice and waited outside with Aaron for some fresh air, but I was growing more and more impatient. Damn the sound effects. Yeah, for real, the voice actor really went all out. I'm a bit embarrassed to hear it, but also like, oh my god. I grabbed onto Aaron's hands as he struggled to breathe properly. Poor baby! The way I would just fold and like, give him some. Like technically, right? As long as I don't cut a major artery, there's not much blood he can drink off it. So it should be fine. Aaron, please, hanging there, okay? I had to wait for Charlie. There was nothing more I could do. I knew that. But Aaron had already risked his life to save mine. And I couldn't leave him alone in such pain. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna let him drink my blood. The game makes it sound like such a big deal, but I know how blood works. I have nosebleeds all the time. Aaron, don't hold it in any longer. Just drink my blood. What a good boy. Aaron! There was only one thing I could do. Aaron, it's okay. I'll give you some blood right now. I quietly rolled up my sleeves and drew the dagger I always carried around. It's okay. I'll be okay. The hand I was holding the dagger trembled. It was a familiar action, but it was terrifying. But Aaron would never voluntarily drink my blood if I didn't do this. And it didn't seem like he'd make it through the pain before Charlie returned. Took a deep breath and I carefully slit my wrist. See, like, why would she slit a major artery? That's gonna make blood gush out, and that's why you got anemia. You should just like make slit along your forearm or something. She's not very smart. The actor was so real for this man. No, actually though, I'm a bit embarrassed like hearing it. Soon, a crimson liquid began to trickle down my arm. The eyes that were burning redder than the liquid finally looked up to face me, and I smiled, holding my wrist out to him. Here, drink this. I prepared this for you. Yeah, is it preparing? Is it preparing? This was my turn to save Aaron. Does he die if I don't give it to him? Nice. There's 2 endings. I'll be getting both. Today. On the day that the true culprit of the serial murders that shook London was caught, Charlie saw the letter I left behind in time to report it to the police, who later came to arrest Felix on the spot. Felix soon admitted to all the terrible crimes he had committed, but he never confessed to his motives. Aaron, who had returned to the force after the case was resolved, speculated that it was to keep me out of the investigation. He committed a crime that was irreversible, but it made me feel more complicated thinking that it was caused by me.
아가씨, 이제 슬슬 일어나셔야죠.
As always, Charlie's voice woke me up as I stretched and stumbled out of bed.
오늘은 네이커가로 시철 나가는 날입니다.
Right, I know.
어제도 늦게 주무신 것 같던데요.
I've had a lot of work lately. After that day, Harvey left the mansion, saying how he would return to his place since his ability won't be needed anymore. My Harvey, I'm sorry for ignoring you. It was sad to see him go, but Charlie was smiling so whitely as Harvey left the estate, so I couldn't let Harvey stay. My father's been handing over more and more work lately.
좋은 일 아니겠습니까? 인정받고 있다는 증거니까요.
Though the true culprit of the serial murders have been caught, there was still so much work to be done by the Linders to better Laker Street. I had to check if there was anything I could do for the starving children on the streets, if there was anything I could do for the women who were walking the streets at night. The world was full of unresolved issues, but people were still trying their best to make ends meet.
그러고 보니 콜 가문에서 새로운 후계자를 찾아냈다고 하더군요. 조만간 아가씨의 입맛에 맞는 디저트를 만들고 싶으니 대화를 나누러 찾아오겠다고 하던데요.
I see. Morse ended up closing, but we would not completely cut ties with the Coles. They've had quite a long relationship with the Linders, and his father came to the mansion, went down on his knees, and begged. Because of Felix, no one would purchase desserts from the Coles, but the remaining family members had to find a way to make money. They didn't delve into like his motivation at all, like him being like an illegitimate heir or something, was it? I wasn't listening properly. And the fact that like the family was mean to him, like what, we're just gonna be fine with that? Oh well, you created a serial killer, oh well, get fucked, we can still help you. Even if the rest of the London were to ignore them, I couldn't neglect the Coles.
그럼 저는 밖에서 기다리고 있겠습니다.
Charlie made a graceful exit, and I dragged my groggy body to the shower. The potatoes are quite fresh today, my lady. Is that so? I'll have to tell Louise to come take a look later. Would you like to see new fabrics, my lady? We had some amazing new fabrics come in recently. Ah, that's exciting. Could you send the samples to the mansion? I was walking down the street when I spotted a familiar face in the distance. Ah, it's the handsome boy. It's Aaron. After being cleared of his charges, Aaron managed to return to work as a detective. It was also because he had a great track record, not to mention the trust his colleagues had in him. Many people wondered why his eyes suddenly turned red, but he just shrugged it off as an after effect of a random disease. How convenient. I stared at him blankly as he was in the middle of a conversation with someone, and our eyes met. Aaron, why? Oh, I can't believe you! Aaron quickly looked away, and I felt a little sad. I would have choked him. I feel stupid. We did not have a proper conversation after he returned to work as a detective. I know why. It was obvious that he still felt guilty about losing control on the day Felix was arrested. Still, this is unnecessary. I felt petty at the sight of him pretending to be unconcerned, so I gritted my teeth and walked away. Kick him in the butt. But where am I? Oh god, is it robber number 4 or robber number 5? I swear to god, I can't. I can't deal with the robbers anymore. I've been in this neighborhood since I was born, and for the first time I was in an alley I did not recognize. Charlie? Where are you? I called out his name out of habit, but for some reason he didn't answer. Odd? Did he lose track of me? Charlie, you suck. I was trying to find a way out when...
위험해요.
Yamero? Huh? I thought you died! What was that? I turned around and found a man holding a knife, seemingly having been knocked to the ground by Aaron.
괜찮습니까?
I thought he died. Yes?
왜 이런 곳에 혼자 있는 거죠? 찰리는 어디 있습니까?
I'm not sure. I called for him, but he didn't come out.
일단 여기서 나가죠. 이 근처는 최근 가장 치안이 좋지 않기로 유명한 곳이라 당신이 혼자 다닐 만한 곳이 못 됩니다.
With that, he handcuffed the half-conscious man and drove him and me straight to the police station. After arresting the man for robbery and putting him in a holding cell, I walked out and saw the sun begin to set.
시간을 너무 뺏어서 미안합니다.
No, it's okay. I didn't realize he was such a dangerous person. The man Aaron had caught turned out to be a burglar who had robbed more than a dozen wealthy mansions, causing injuries in the process. I was caught up with him by accident, and I somehow ended up helping with the interrogation until this late. Interrogation? We hadn't talked in a while, and there was an awkward silence between us. Still, Aaron slowly walked with me, walking me back to my house.
그럼 저는 이만 가보겠습니다.
He entered the mansion in a very familiar manner, soon realized that something was off, and tried to scurry away. However, I wasn't about to let this opportunity pass me by. Aaron, are you really just going to leave? Aaron was about to grab the doorknob when he froze at my question. Aren't you even going to ask if I'm feeling better? Or how I'm doing? Couldn't you even come apologize for hurting me that day? Say that it would never happen again. I waited. Aaron left the mansion so quickly, as if he was running away, and I waited for Aaron to come back and see me after clearing his mind. I waited for him to define the emotions we felt for each other during the time we spent together in the mansion. You can't just assume someone has feelings for you, what? That's crazy. However, it seemed like I just lacked patience.
제게 정말 그럴 자격이 있습니까?
I'm shaking him.
저는 당신을 그렇게나 다치게 했는데, 아프게 했는데, 문득 당신의 얼굴이 생각날 때마다 그날 제 품에서 차가워지던 당신의 체온이 함께 떠오릅니다.
This is why you're not supposed to cut your wrist.
그날의 기억은 마치 안개가 듯이 흐릿한데 서서히 초점을 잃어가던 그 눈동자가 얼마나 기억이 생생한지, 몇 번이나 저도 모르게 이 저택으로 발걸음이 향했는지 모릅니다. 하지만 그때마다 정말로 다시는 당신의 그런 모습을 보고 싶지 않아서 어떻게든 저 자신을...
A corner of my chest hurt as Aaron's anguished voice echoed in my head. I'm telling you, it's fine. So, just look at me, please. Oh, what? CG? No? I shouted, feeling like I was going to cry, and Aaron turned and walked right up to me. Then he kissed me passionately, taking my breath away. My God, where did this come from? It was a kiss that expressed all the desires and emotions that he had been suppressing all this time. His skin was cold now, yet heat started spreading from everywhere he touched.
제가
Uh,
당신을 탐해도 되겠습니까?
in what way? Depends on the way. My eyes were watery from not being able to breathe properly, but I still nodded. He smirked and wiped the tears from my eyes.
이제야 당신에게 제 진심을 전할 수 있게 되었군요.
His low, calm voice echoed in my ear, and he moved in to kiss me again. It was the start of an intoxicatingly sweet night. This is the okay. Cool. Okay. Look, if I was her and the guy I like ignored me right after I almost died for him, I wouldn't let him bang me. I don't know. It's just me. Maybe I'm a prude, but you know, like, respect for yourself is extremely important. All he did was kiss me and then, okay, you can do anything now. We're all good. That's not... Man, I talk too much. Okay. I'm fine with this. As always, I was indulging in the soft duvet and the warm sunlight streaming down through the curtains. However, the person who interrupted my sleep was different from usual. He has massive tits! Those are round. Are actual men pecs that round? I am concerned. Is he okay? He's very pretty, holy shit.
벌써 아침인가?
Aaron stirred, still groggy from sleep, and then leaned over and pulled me into his arms to block the sun. I was startled by the sensation that I felt on my skin, his massive pecs. I was met with the toned, bare, naked body in front of me, with his arms wrapping around me.
아, 역시 일어나 버렸군요.
You woke me up. You called my name. Aaron.
피곤하진 않아요? 아직 졸리면 조금 더 자도 됩니다.
I had never felt this relaxed before, but I liked it. Well, more accurately, I was happy, to the point where I was surprised that waking up in the morning could feel this refreshing. No, I'm fine. Oh, look at his smile! What is that? On his arm? On my arm? Oh, like bra strap? His pec is bigger than my head. Are you seeing this? What is this? Why is it rounder than my head and it is bigger than my head? That is scary. I do not want that. That is scary. I heard him chuckle softly above my head.
잘 잤어요?
I slept well. And you?
저도 아주 오랜만에 푹 자본 것 같습니다.
His crimson eyes gleamed under the sun like jewels. It was a bright red color that was more clear and beautiful than ever. I was so happy that I dug deeper into his arms, rubbing my head against his chest. You go get that girl! I'm so jealous. Boobs are nice. What is?
제 피부가
I'm going to type this. No. If I type it, it will be... If he is a vampire, he doesn't have blood in his body? If he doesn't have blood in his body, how does he, you know, get it? I'm gonna stop thinking about this. Oh no, not at all. I guess my body heat warmed you up. It feels rather pleasant.
그렇군요. 한 번 잃었던 체온이 당신 덕분에 다시 따뜻해지겠네요.
How does he get it? Aaron's sweet words gave me more of a reason to hug him. Right, you lost it because of me, so it's only fair that I help you get it back.
그럼 지금도 받아가 보겠습니다.
With that, he started kissing me relentlessly, as if if you were the one kissing me, of course I'm the one receiving. Am I dumb? Felt like a vampire who was supposed to take blood from me was instead filling me up. In this context, that is interesting to say. Perhaps we've become two individuals that complement each other in that way.
제 모든 걸 걸고 당신에게 약속하겠습니다. 나를 구원해준 당신을 영원히 사랑하겠다고.
He whispered a heartfelt confession, and I kissed him back as a reply, looking forward to waking up with him like this for the rest of our lives. His tits are so big. Okay. Let's watch. I assume this is maybe Kickstarter? I'm not sure what this is. Pretty song though. Okay, let's do the second ending real quick. I just have to answer things he does not like. Maybe this one? I can't remember honestly. So keep let's see. Where's the guide? Okay, not this one. The sound effect is kind of annoying, sorry. Okay. This one then. Okay, we want the ending too. I already did the I'm used to it, so I'm just gonna skip it, okay? Choose anything you'd like. There are various genres of books, so take your pick. I couldn't be happier when I randomly grab a book and it turns out to be a good read.
새로운 접근법이네요.
It's nothing much, but it gives you the feeling that you've found a treasure.
그렇군요. 한번 참고해 보겠습니다.
Pondered on what book might be a good fit for him while watching him skimming through different books from the bookshelves. Aaron, would you like to try this one? I'm assuming it's the vampire one. And then he doesn't like it if I like mystery novels. Why? Infiltrating again? Why don't we devise a plan and infiltrate the station like last time? I still think it's dangerous for you to be seen in daylight, Aaron.
아가씨, 설마 같은 방법이 두 번이나 운 좋게 통할 거라고 기대하는 건 아니시겠죠?
He's talking to me like I'm stupid. Is it that absurd?
당연한 겁니다. 저번처럼 또 유치장을 부술 생각은 하지 않는 게 좋을 겁니다.
You broke it! I remember, he broke it. The room fell silent as everyone was thinking about what could be done.
내가 가는 게 제일 나을 것 같네요.
And then I'll leave. Aaron, I'll leave if it's that difficult for you to handle. This small of a cut will heal quickly after I clean it and put some ointment on it. I can do it myself.
미안합니다.
He shook his head and barely managed to pull his hand away from mine, offering another apology.
제가 나갈 겁니다. 바깥 공기를 마시면서.
Now we're fighting. Stop, Charlie. I felt stiff, but I managed to get up from my seat and grabbed onto Charlie's arms. Don't do this, Charlie. Let's talk calmly. I'm awake now. It's okay.
이건 별거일 뿐입니다. 제 허락도 없이 아가씨의 피를 한 개씩하지 마셨다는 사실은 여전히 존재하죠.
So if it's with your permission, it's okay. I'm an adult, dude.
그런데도 제가 이자를 살려두길 바라시는 겁니까?
Just let him go and then we'll talk. Please. He still looked unconvinced, but his grip on Aaron loosened. Poor baby. Are you okay? Entering the cafe. Should we go in the cafe? I think the door is open. It might be okay to wait inside.
언제 돌아올지도 모르는데 안에서 기다리는 건 효율적이지 못한 것 같습니다. 그냥 이 근처를 좀 더 둘러보죠.
Okay.
카페가 이미 문을 닫은 거라면 자택으로 가야 할 것 같습니다.
Hold on. Aaron, hang in there just a little longer. There was only one thing I could do. Aaron, it's okay. I'm thinking like, okay, hold on. Okay, never mind. It's like a kid throwing a tantrum. It's okay, I'll give you some blood right now. Ending 2. A few days had passed. The true culprit of the serial murders that shook London was caught, and the world found peace again. However, there was still a monster that was lurking in the dark, unable to find its place. No, don't. That's so mean to him. Once again, I could feel something siphoned from my body. It happened so many times that I should have been numb by now, but I still shuddered, looking for something to grab onto. I'm not moaning his name. Aaron. My vision blurred. I gasped in his arms, not knowing if it was from pleasure or from pain. We were somewhere no one could find us. He devoured me to no end.
사랑하는 나의
Looks like my house. He sought no one else's blood, only mine. Never pushed me to the point where I would collapse. When I started getting tired, he would carefully lay me in bed. He prepared my meals, fed me, dressed me, washed me, and put me to bed. It was as if he was unconsciously acting in a way that wouldn't hurt me. Even though he became a vampire that was only driven by his instincts, who only knew how to utter my name and nothing else. Aaron. That was why I couldn't leave his side. I was the one who created this poor creature that only coveted me. Coveted? Go. Ah. He licked the blood off my wrist, more affectionately than ever, as if he were confessing his love to me. But he looked up, startled by my moan. Looking into the eyes that have never regained focus, I smiled reassuringly at him. It's okay. I'm okay. She's enjoying it. Like, you can't tell me she's not enjoying it if she's, like, actively encouraging him. Like, if only she can take him back to the mansion to get help from the other two vampires, it might be different. Like, chill, girl, chill. You like a pet, we get it. I pitied myself for reaching my hand out to him once again. When will I ever be able to escape this abyss? Like, you're telling him it's okay. What do you mean you want to escape? You clearly don't. Me too. See? He licked off the single tear that rolled down my cheek. It was another night of a beautiful full moon.
황혼의 유령.
Okay. Ending 2, poor creature. Where's ending 1? I did ending 1. Huh? Eh? I'm confused. Oh, here. I swear in every fiber of my being. Then poor creature. Ah, okay. And then I guess we'll see all the CGs. Shame there's only 5. They reuse a lot of assets. I think I like this one best though. Cute. Cute. Interesting. Poor baby. No, sorry. I'm not gonna say that. That's ruining. I like that too. She's very pretty. Nice back. And hair. Very pretty hair. I would like this if only this didn't look so weird. Ugh. Yeah, that was it for Aaron's route. I think I will be playing the other guys' route, either combined, depending on how short it is, because it's quite short today. So I'd either be playing both at in one stream, or just differentiated based on days I stream. But nevertheless, I will definitely finish all the endings. I am very excited. I'm going to do Harvey next because I like Harvey and I don't like Charlie. So yeah, Harvey best boy. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited. So see you guys next time. Bye bye.